All right, people. So, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, and like we've done pretty much for the entirety of Black History Month, it's a shame we're in the last week, man. Last week, man, only a few days left. It's been a powerful month.
Well, you know how we live, bro.
On TDA.
You know how we live every single day of the year, man.
True indeed.
Come on.
True indeed. You know what I'm saying? And today, again, like yesterday and like tomorrow, amazing guest, a heavyweight.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? Many people haven't heard of him yet. Unfortunately.
Criminal.
I'm telling you. But
I thought it was a reggae artist.
you guys already got a little glimpse, but trust me, that's just touching the surface. You know what I'm saying? This brother is a university lecturer, he's an educator, and author. 1 second, sorry, my thing.
Don't worry, man. We're anticipating. There's no rush. No rush. No rush.
There was a point in time when it is that Chinks thought you were doing it right from the dome.
No, he is.
Your iPad.
No, he is. He freestyles. I guarantee you, he freestyles.
Yeah,
I've
right.
seen the notes.
Okay.
Don't discredit my guy.
All right.
Thank you.
Keep the beef alive.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, in fact, before I go into the intro, let me big up Heather again as well.
Oh, big up
Come on.
Heather. I see it
I
get
have to
picked
big
up.
up
on.
Heather.
Our plug.
You know what I'm saying?
Our plug.
She gifted us this brilliant
100%.
brothers book, you know what I'm saying? Which again we're gonna get into. But again, guys, we are joined by a university lecturer. He's an educator and the author of the groundbreaking book, The Hidden Science of Melanin. He's also the co-founder of the Hidden Science Academy, which is an institution dedicated to uncovering the scientific truths often left out of mainstream educating, especially when it comes to melanin, health, and Black biology. This brother's got a deep expertise in mental health, nutrition, biochemistry. He's got an event coming up in November that we're going to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Specifically for Black men, and everybody's work. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, this guy, again, is one of the leading voices translating complex science into practical knowledge for our community. He believes in breaking it down so that even a child can understand. So what's the point in hearing all the information and doing nothing with it? You know what I'm saying? We need that. His work, bridges biology and spirituality, helping us understand how melanin connects the body, the mind, and the environment. Again, we got a little glimpse of that already. Please welcome this brilliant young brother, Mr. Leon Marshall.
Who are ya? Who are ya?
Introduction, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes. We're not going to have no more introductions after Black History Month, are we?
Now we will. Each time it is that we have a guest that comes on, he set the standard that he has to keep.
Yeah,
up. Sorry, can't drop it now.
How are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Appreciate the invite. Really do. Appreciate it.
Thank
like
you
you
for
said, no one really knows about me, but I've been doing what I've been doing for a very long time.
Yeah.
I've been running events. I've been running the Hidden Science Academy. Like I told you earlier, I was running a Black holistic health course in like 2016.
Wow.
And sold out events all over the UK. So yeah, been doing my thing, man.
Okay, cool. You mentioned obviously the Science Academy, right? The Hidden Science Academy. What is that exactly?
So when I was at university, I was working at London South Bank University, sports science lecturer, yeah. And long story short, when I went to university to study science, I left with more questions than answers. Do you get what I'm saying? Like even at school, I was very confused with regards to science.
Yeah.
And I felt like it was me. Like I was thinking, why do I find this so hard? Why do I find chemistry so hard? Biology, physics. And I just didn't understand how it related to my life, because the way they taught it at school was very confusing, very complex, and they didn't relate it to my life in any sort of way. So I used to get into it with my science teachers, like, you lot are chatting foolishness. What is this got to do with my life? Do you get what I'm saying? So when I went to university, now I always had a passion for learning about the universe, though, learning about yourself, self-knowledge, knowledge of self, all that sort of stuff. So when I left university, I kind of went on a self-discovery journey.
Okay.
Started reading books. My sisters, they introduced me to Dr. Francis Cress Wilson's book, The ISIS Papers. That changed
Classic.
everything for me. And then they introduced me to Dr. Laila Africa as well. And his books changed my life.
Yeah.
So when I was learning this stuff, I was a university lecturer. I was like, I'd love to tell my students this, but I'm like, obviously I can't. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was a thing where I was just bursting with this energy, bursting with all of this knowledge. I was like, I need to tell someone. But my audience was university students.
Yeah.
That was my audience.
Yeah.
So I was like, me and my sisters were like, nah, man, we got to do something. Let's put on an event or something. And we put on an event at the university and it was just sold out and it was crazy.
Sick.
And yeah, from there we was like, we got to call this something. Do you know what I'm saying? Because my sister was like, because the first event we done was the Hidden Science of Black Hair. Yeah.
Okay.
And that one was just sold out event, crazy. And then my sister was like, nah, you could do the hidden science of this and you could do the hidden science of that. I was like, yeah, we could make it like a theme. So I was like, we got to call this something.
Yeah.
So we came up with the Hidden Science Academy, and it's like an educational platform. And we deliver courses. Again, before the pandemic, we were delivering physical courses. So my Black Holistic Health course was in person. It was at universities. It was at Croydon Supplementary Education Project, which is a Saturday school. So we were doing things physically, physical events and that sort of stuff. When the pandemic happened now, we kind of moved online. And that had its positives and negatives. But yeah, once we moved online, we done online courses, webinars and all that sort of stuff. So that's what we do to this day. Physical stuff and online stuff.
Powerful, man.
Mario, before we continue, good morning, Andrew. I believe you would like to say something to our esteemed guest.
Is this my good brother, Andrew?
Yeah, it is.
Come on, man. Good morning.
Morning. I haven't got anything to say at this stage. I'm just listening backstage for now.
Okay, all right. Cool.
But yeah, I support the brother. Looking forward to it. That's all.
All right, cool. That's King's Monologue. He has a YouTube channel. It's very, very big, and he focuses on stuff that I think you'd be really interested in.
100%.
I think also Heather dropped the information about his GoFundMe into the Hidden Science community.
Okay.
And
oh yes.
Yeah.
No. It was actually he might have done. But I think it was more so what's his name? Brother Andrew Muhammad. It's another group that Heather's part of.
Sure.
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, I thought I heard her say Hidden Science.
Oh, it might have been.
She's always saying that.
Okay.
It would have been right top of my head.
All right, pardon me.
But it was funded anyway. But anyway, all right, cool.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely, like, you guys would, yeah. Anyway, so obviously the Hidden Science Academy, right? So obviously you mentioned your sisters. So everyone, like you and your siblings, everyone's mind is of a particular consciousness, basically.
Well, what's interesting is I'd say that I was the last one on board because I kind of just went down the road that my parents told me to go down. I went to school, got quote unquote good grades, then went to college, then went to university, all because my parents wanted me to do that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then from that, got a good job, quote unquote good job. And then I was just working at university, sports science lecturer. You know what I'm saying? So earning my money, doing my thing, bit of a status, university lecturer and that sort of stuff. So I weren't interested in anything black, blackness and all that sort of stuff. But again, because I was so confused, I was confused with science when I left university. And then I got confused with life. Because even though I'd done all the things that my parents told me to do, I was extremely unhappy.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And I felt like things were missing in my life and that sort of stuff. So yeah, I had to go on a self-discovery journey, and my sisters helped me on that because I was lost. I was totally lost. And that's happens to a lot of black men who literally just won't admit that they're just lost. They just don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I was one of them.
Yeah.
And then my sisters, because they were on that certain wavelength, they were like, okay, let's introduce you to certain books.
Yeah.
Read this book. Because when I was lost, I was reading a lot of self-help books. You get what I'm saying? 'Cause I was just trying to find myself.
Yeah.
That's what I do now.
Yeah, but I was reading a lot of self-help books from people who don't look like me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So my sisters were like, stop reading them books.
Yeah.
Here's Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. Read the ISIS papers. Read Dr. Layla Africa's Nutricide. Read that. And then when I read those books now, I was like, oh, okay. Now I'm getting it. Now I understand certain things. Do you get what I'm saying? And then the more knowledge I gained, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so powerful. I want to tell someone. And that's why I put together the Hidden Science of Black Holistic Health.
Sick.
Can I ask what briefly is in the ISIS papers?
Dr. Francis Cress Wilson and her mentor is a brother named Neely Fuller Jr. You could argue they're the best scholars with regards to the system that we live in. So you can call it white supremacy or racism, but both of them have written classic books that teach us about this system that we're in. And what's powerful about the ISIS papers is everything we're seeing right now, she was telling us this is going to happen. And I can't remember when her book came out, what, 80s or 90s or something like that? But she was telling us they're going to get black men to sag their pants, and then the pants are going to get lower and lower, and then they're going to take off the pants and then put on a dress and then feminize the black man. And she just blatantly told us exactly what we're seeing right now. Do you get what I'm saying? She said, this is the system, this is how it works. And Neely Fuller was the same. Neely Fuller kind of wrote a book. He calls it the compensatory code system concept. How to deal with the system, because we literally don't know how to deal with the system.
Yeah.
Like, we're oblivious to it. And I call it the hidden hand. There's always a hidden hand in everything that we're doing, yeah? But those two books will help you to understand the system that you're living in. Because if you do not understand the system that you're living in, you will become a victim of it. It's as simple as that.
Again, you can say something?
Yeah, can we just get the 2 books so that Davina could write it down so she can look at it? I've already put Leon's book I've pinned it to the top, so he doesn't have to say that one. But the books that you mentioned, somebody's already done it. Hold up.
Yeah, someone's done it, yeah. There you
All right,
go.
ISIS Papers, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, and African Holistic Health by Dr. Leila Africa.
And I would say Neely Fuller's book is very important as well. Neely Fuller Jr. is Dr. Francis Cress Welsing's mentor. He transitioned earlier this year he transitioned. He was 95, I think.
Wow.
And he transitioned this year. His book is the blueprint to how we deal with this system. It's called the Compensatory Counter-Racist Code, or it's got a long title, it's Compensatory Code System Concept. Yeah. And his book, he wrote that, I think, in the 1940s.
Wow.
And then updated it in 2016. So there's a 2016 version that's out. You might be able to get it on Amazon. But yeah, those 2 books changed my life.
Big up Christy. She said Dr. Frances Cress Wilson doesn't get the rating she deserves. 100%.
100%.
At the time, people were basically saying she's a nut job, man.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
being able to just see certain things that are so subconscious that we just take as just, it's just how things are. No, it's by design. It's by design. You know what I'm saying? And again, this is not she's a qualified doctor before anyone starts thinking she's a whatever. But yeah.
That is a long title.
Very
United Independent Compensatory Code System Concept Textbook. Compensatory Counter-Racist Code. Get that.
When I say this book is so powerful, because it teaches you how to talk to what he calls racist suspects. So when you're at work and you feel like you're being gaslit, when you're at work and you don't know how to, respond to them, he breaks down how to respond, what to say. He breaks down words, because he says they use words as trickery.
Yeah.
They try to confuse us with language. And that's what they do in science. That's why I'm so good at breaking down science, because I always break down their language. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, science, the reason why no one understands science is because most of the scientific terminology is in Latin. Who speaks Latin?
That's it.
So no one knows what any of these words mean. But because of that book, I understand how to break down science. I'll just break down their words, literally break down the Latin words.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, oh, this is what they're saying. So for example, the scientific term for the melanin that we have as black people is called eumelanin. It's spelled EU, melanin. Yeah. In science, anytime you have EU in front of a word, they call it the prefix. Anytime the prefix is EU, that means good, normal, or true. And then there's another type of melanin called pheomelanin, which is what other people have.
Yeah.
The lighter one, yeah.
That's what I got then, innit?
No, you still got eumelanin.
Oh.
You got eumelanin, because the pheomelanin, basically eumelanin comes in black and brown, pheomelanin comes in red and yellow. Obviously, there's people that have a combination of the two, so you're going to be of a lighter complexion. But the type that white people have is pheomelanin, yeah? And pheo, I allowed you guys to do your own research, but pheo in certain languages means dusty.
You look
This-
dusty.
And this is them. This is not Leo Marshall's terminology. This is them. They're saying eumelanin is the true melanin. In other words, you guys got the true melanin.
Yeah.
Our melanin's kind of... But this is them. Again, when you break down the language, it's like the truth is in there.
obviously, I believe that's your debut book, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So can you show it to the people again?
Hidden
please?
Science of
The
Melanin.
Hidden Science of Melanin. Yeah. Why melanin? Why was that the first thing you decided to write about?
Well, I always wanted to write a book. But when I was doing the Black Holistic Health course, I wanted to make that into a book. So I was running the courses for years. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, this information is so powerful, it's so powerful. I was like, I just want to make a book. Because doing the courses, even though I loved it, it's a lot of work doing the courses. So I was like, if I had a book, then people could just read the book as opposed to booking on the course. Plus, I was doing it physically. I weren't online yet.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to book onto the Black Holistic Health course, you'd have to come to either my university or Croydon or whatever. So I was like, make it easier, write a book. That way everyone all over the world can get this knowledge and information. My Black Holistic Health course, when I used to do it as a physical course, was 5 weeks. Yeah. And each class was like hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. I'd go in on each class. And I'm like, how am I going to put all this information into a book? Yeah. So I'd just be making notes. What am I going to put in my book? Making notes. And big up my brother Joe Dash. A couple years ago, he came out with a melanin book called The Melanin Effect. And I was just so blown away that someone from the UK had a book on melanin. Do you get what I'm saying? I was like, and I said to him, big up, brother, you got a book on melanin on Amazon, blah, blah. He was like, bro, where's your book? You need the book. You need to have a book on melanin. Are you crazy? I was like, well, let me think about it. Because by then, I'd been studying melanin for over 10 years, and I'd been making notes in my phone for over 10 years. So when he was saying, you need to write a book, I started to think, wait a minute. I've got a book in my phone. I've literally got the book. I just need to, put chapters together and all that sort of stuff. So what's crazy is, once he put that idea in my head, the book came out about 9 months later. That's how quickly it came out. You get what I'm saying? Because I already had all the information in my phone. I'd already studied it. I didn't have to do any more study. I'd already had all the scientific studies in my phone, referenced them. So it was just kind of putting together chapters. And then the book was out, self-published.
Sick.
Shout out my man Terence. Speaking about breaking down science words and that.
Terence Howard.
Lingo. Don't get the lingo. What do you think about Terence Howard?
I haven't watched a lot of his clips, but here's the thing. Like I always say at the start of my lectures, I show a quote by Albert Einstein. And Albert Einstein is considered, according to them, one of the greatest scientists of all time. The quote that I show is, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. That's his quote. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. And when I first read that quote, I was like, boom, that makes sense. So when they were teaching us science in school, they don't understand it well enough. But then I was like, I think I need to add to that. So in my lectures, I'll show that quote and then I say I agree with it, but I'd add to it. I'd say, if someone's teaching you something, especially in science, and they can't explain it simply, it means they don't understand the subject well enough. Or they do. They just don't want you to understand it.
Wow.
Yeah? So that's the reason why anyone who's teaching science or who says they're good at science and they can't explain it in a simplified way, it's because they don't want you to understand it. So at school, they didn't want us to understand biology, chemistry, physics. They didn't want us to understand it. You know why? Because the more you understand it, the more it comes back to us and this.
Come on.
The more you understand science, the more it comes back to this. This, I say in my book, this is the elephant in the room when it comes to science. So every time they talk about science and they're not mentioning this, they're tiptoeing around the elephant. Do you understand? When they're talking about climate change, they're tiptoeing around the elephant. Oh, the planet's getting hotter. They're tiptoeing around the elephant. When they're talking about reducing carbon, they're tiptoeing around the elephant. Remember, Dr. Sabi said there's no such thing as melanin, it's carbon. If they want to reduce carbon, who do you think they want to reduce?
I hear you. All right. All right. So that kind of ties into my next question, because obviously, not to sound condescending or whatever it may be, right? But I feel as though a lot of people kind of just see melanin as the surface level.
That's right.
Surface layer, I should say, right?
Yeah.
Not knowing it's throughout the body, right? Please speak to that and connect that to what you just said. about them not wanting us to know particular things.
Right. So the reason you gotta think, like, at school, where you guys taught about photosynthesis, you were taught about so you were taught about chlorophyll, which is the green pigment in plants, which absorbs sunlight, and that's what it's like. The life process. Photosynthesis is like the life process of plants. Without photosynthesis, there's no plant life. Without chlorophyll, that green pigment. Well, Dr. Leila Africa says without melanin, there's no human life. He calls melanin the chemical key to life. And the more I started to research it, the more I understood why. So because no one teaches us melanin in school, and again, they teach every child about photosynthesis, plant life. So why would they not teach them about human life, which is melanin, Because no one's getting taught, everyone's confused, So when it comes on to what melanin does, the only thing we know is what they've told us. So you ask any scientist or any person, what is melanin? Why do we have melanin? They'll say, oh, you have melanin to protect you from the sun. Yeah. Even when I weren't studying melanin, that made no sense to me. I understood how important the sun was on this planet. Without the sun, there's no plant life. Without the sun, there's no animal life. Without the sun, there's no human life. Why would you need protecting from something that gives you life? That's like me giving you a gun and saying, here, this is going to protect you from your mother. You'd be like, what? Why are you giving me a gun to protect me? My mother gave me life. Why would I need protection from it? So it didn't make sense to me. So when I started to research it, I started to realize melanin is not just skin, Melanin is in all of your organs. It's in your blood. It's in pretty much, it runs all throughout your body, and it literally controls things. It's like the regulator of energy inside of your body. It doesn't block sunlight, it absorbs sunlight. The same way chlorophyll absorbs sunlight, and then there's a chemical reaction inside of the plant that keeps the plant alive. It's the same with us. Chemical reaction, absorbs sunlight, actually converts that sunlight into electricity, which is energy for the body. Yeah. So it's absorbing sunlight, and that's how it, quote unquote, protects us from the sun. It absorbs it and then kind of dissipates it. Yeah. If it didn't dissipate it, then it would be, quote unquote, dangerous. But for us, it absorbs it and then dissipates it and then utilizes that energy for internal processes like electricity and like what they call structuring water, which is splitting the water molecule into oxygen and hydrogen. Like, it's deep, very deep.
So what's the difference then with our melanin and the Theo? What was it? The
melanin. Yeah, so their one is not as efficient at absorbing what they call the electromagnetic frequencies, which is all of the vibrational frequencies in the known universe. So people are aware of gamma rays, X-rays, radio waves, infrared, ultraviolet. These are all electromagnetic frequencies, invisible radiation frequencies that we can't see. But your melanin can absorb all of them. Yeah, theirs can't, and theirs can't slow down and dissipate the energy like ours can. So if you've got this powerful energy coming into you, melanin can kind of slow it down and dissipate it. Whereas their one, it can't really slow it down and dissipate it. Hence the reason why they're more likely to get skin cancer and that sort of stuff. Because what happens is when the ultraviolet light goes through the skin, if you don't have the melanin to protect your nucleus of your DNA, it can affect the nucleus of the DNA. It can actually alter your DNA, and that's what leads to skin cancer and that sort of stuff. Our melanin kind of coats our DNA, and when it comes in, it absorbs it and dissipates it, so it doesn't disrupt the DNA.
Right.
Are there any...
No, go on.
You're right?
Yeah, I wanted you to put the...
Sorry. Go on.
Going back on the screen.
Oh, sorry.
Jenna just said, isn't this what Andrew said? Or have I misheard or misunderstood? Basically, Andrew's basically who called up before.
Big monologue, yeah.
Big him up.
Gin and Gist, is that Tem?
Yeah, Temmie.
You go up, my good sister. And
So, question, Leon. Do you use any sort of protective ingredients to
black people can't be racist.
protect yourself from exposure or overexposure to the sun?
You see, the way we live as human beings now, we are hardly in the sun. And let me make it even more specific. The way we live as black people now, we are hardly in the sun. So let's say even 100 years ago, yeah? Because we've been on this planet.
Worldwide? Or like specifically here?
specifically here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say worldwide.
Okay.
I'd say worldwide because I'm from Jamaica. You go Jamaica and you see Jamaicans walking around with umbrellas. You see Jamaicans walking around bleaching and that sort of stuff. You see Jamaicans talking about, oh no, it's too hot today and rare. So
Don't forget the deodorants and all them things. We don't really sweat and all them
chemicals and all that. So we're changing as black people. Before we'd be out in the sun. Remember, high-rise buildings, all these things are
air
new.
Conditioning and all them.
All that sort of stuff. We used to work outside. We used to do everything outside. Do you understand? Even to this day, when I go back to Jamaica, my dad lives in the country. When I'm in the country, you see them building yards and they're on the top of the thing with their top off, blazing heat. And they're doing that from dusk till dawn. Do you understand? How are they able to do that? They're getting energized by something.
Okay.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I've been, when I'm in Jamaica and I'm just absorbing the sun, being active though, not just sunbathing, being active, because that's not our culture, being active and doing things like them workers on the top of the yards, them building yards, and you don't even think about food. It's when you get back inside now you're like, oh, right, I'm hungry, man, I need to eat. The reason why you don't think about food, because you were getting fed. The sun was feeding you. That was your energy, yeah? So now it's a thing where we've been taught that we need to protect ourselves from the sun. So now black people, and again, because we're not in the sun, our melanin is not as strong as it was 100 years ago. So when we do go out in the sun now, black people are getting burnt, yeah? And now they're thinking, oh, I must need sunscreen. I got burnt. I've got melanin. Melanin is supposed to protect me from the sun. So now let me put on the sunscreen. I talk about sunscreen in my book. Do you know that a third, and it's probably more now because again, my studies were from like 10 years ago. A third of the sunscreen products that are on the market right now have cancer-causing chemicals.
Yeah, a lot of stuff does, yeah.
So you're telling me that people are going to put on something to protect themselves from cancer and it will potentially give them cancer in the future?
That's crazy.
Because I get sunburn and I thought it's because I didn't have enough melanin.
Nah, it's because your melanin is weak. It's the same thing when you look up at the sun and you can't look directly at the sun. Our culture used to be sun gazing. Like literally every time I go to Jamaica, again, because I live over here, my melanin's weak. So I look up at the sun, I can't just look directly in it.
They say
But then,
that it'll blind you and stuff like that.
yeah, so these are the people who have feel melanin talking about, are you melanin? Yeah? So, and our culture used to be looking up at the sun and getting the infrared light in the morning and all that sort of stuff and all the healing effects that happens. But because our melanin's so weak, we can't look up at the sun. So when I go to Jamaica, I do what I'd do if I was in the gym. I build my way, I'd strengthen my melanin. So I look up, look away. Do 10 seconds, look up, look away. And then by the end of my holiday, I can look up at the sun and look directly into the sun for damn near a minute, even without blinking. Because I trained my way up there. I just I strengthened my melanin slowly over time. The same way you'd strengthen a muscle in the gym. You wouldn't go in the gym and lift the heaviest of weight straight away. You build your way up. That's what we've got to do with our melanin. But people think that they can just go outside in the sun, being here in the UK where we don't get sun at all, then go somewhere like Africa or Jamaica and be fine in the sun. No, your melanin's weak. Plus,
So what would happen and how do you protect yourself until it is that you reach the point where it's strong enough like the locals?
so you just, like I say, do the training. So let's say you're out in Africa, the sun is way too hot. You'd go out there unprotected for 10 minutes. Then find shade or whatever. Next day, try and go out there for 15 minutes and build your way up to the point where by the end of your holiday, you can go outside unprotected with your top off or whatever for 2 hours or something. Because again, we used to live out in the sun. So people say, oh, how long should you be out in the sun? There should be no limit. There shouldn't be a limit. We should be out in the sun the majority of the time. You got to look at the sun as your main nutrient.
Question. So given that we're in this godforsaken land and we are weak, what do we do with our children when we send them out to play on a scorching hot day?
Again, in this country, they're not in the sun long enough to have a problem. And I talk about people who have eumelanin. The people who have pheomelanin, they'd have to make their decision. But if you've got eumelanin, your children are not going to be out in the sun for long enough for it to be an issue.
Let's just say they are. What happens to them if they are exposed over past the time in which it is that they can handle?
So the thing is, when it comes on to our interaction with the sun, it's more to do with what's going on internally inside of us than it is to do with how hot the sun is. So if someone's having an issue with the sun, whether they're a young person or an older person, it's due to chemicals inside of them. Do you understand? So because we eat a diet of food that is damn near not even food, yeah, when we're interacting with the sun, it causes issues. Now, I teach in my book and on my course that we need to eat a melanin-rich diet. A melanin-rich diet is foods that are high in plant melanin or plant pigments. So, for example, grapes. Like a famous
You
person.
can't find them no more, seedless.
Exactly.
They're all seedless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
That's not an accident, is it?
exactly, that's the hidden hand, like I say. That's to do with the environment. So again, that's why I'm not into finger wagging black people. Anything that happens with black people, there's a hidden hand. Yeah. And that was taught to me by Neely Fuller and Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. So when it comes on to us having issues, we have to look to melanin-rich foods. So yeah, the grapes, if you can find them,
Cherries.
seeded grapes, cherries, darkly pigmented foods.
Alkaline, or that don't matter.
So the acid and alkaline thing, I think there's a lot of confusion there. You get what I'm saying? Because Dr. Sebi was big on alkaline, and since then there's been what you could say Sabeites that just repeat everything he says, but don't understand the science of it. So even in my book, Dr. Sebi said there's no such thing as melanin, it's carbon. And I had to break down why he said that. Because when you look at the molecular structure of melanin, it's mainly carbon. Yeah, it's mainly carbon. It's actually made up of carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen. Yeah? But if you think about what makes us black, if you look at hydrogen, hydrogen's a gas. So that's not what makes us black. Oxygen is a gas. That's not what makes us black. Yeah? So the only thing, and nitrogen is a gas. So that's not what makes us black.
So it makes the cars go fast or something like that, ain't it?
Yeah. So the only thing that we can attribute to our blackness from the carbon molecular, for the melanin molecular structure is the carbon. So that's why Dr. Sebi says there's no such thing as melanin, it's carbon. Now you can understand why he says that. Do you understand? But people will run with that and say, there's no such thing, it's not melanin, it's carbon. Yeah, I understand why he said that, but there's nuance to it, but you gotta understand why he said that. So when he talks about acid and alkaline is the negative charge, because again, your body is controlled by electricity. The same way your phone runs on electricity, your body runs on electricity. Yeah, and alkaline is the negative charge of electricity. Acid is the positive charge of electricity. And again, I like to break things down. It's very simple, so even a 5-year-old can understand. If you've got a battery, yeah, you've got a plus side and a negative side, right? A plus side and a negative side. Now, here's a question. If both sides were plus, would that battery work?
No.
If both sides were negative, remember negative is the alkaline. If both sides were negative, would that battery work?
No.
No, you need the positive and the negative in order for the electricity to flow. So you need acids and alkaline in order for the electricity in your body to flow. But you know where you're supposed to get the acids from? Citrus fruits. They're full of acids. Yeah? So, but if you don't understand that, you're going to run with Dr. Sebi saying, oh, you shouldn't be eating no acids. It's not acid, it's alkaline. Okay, if we were just on alkaline, we wouldn't be able to have electricity in our body. We need acid and alkaline. Just like a battery, you need the positive and the negative. But if you look at a battery, which side has more of it? It's not half plus and half minus. Which side has more?
I think it's the negative.
It's the negative. So that's the reason why your diet should be more alkaline.
Oh.
Your diet should be more alkaline than acid. So it is about balance, but it's not 50-50 balance. It's more alkaline. But people will be like, alkaline. No, there needs to be acid there as well. And it don't need to be 50-50. It needs to be more alkaline than acid. Just think of a battery.
Does it matter if the fruits are like wild or hybrid or anything like that?
Yeah, so the hybrid thing, again, Dr. Sebi will say hybrids are bad. Listen, everything we eat is hybrid.
Oh, so
Yeah, I'm saying most of the things we eat. You eat a watermelon, that's hybrid. You eat a carrot, that's hybrid. Most of the fruits and vegetables we eat are hybrid. So we can't get away with it. We can't get away from it. Yeah, it'd be great if we could follow Dr. Sebi's list of foods to eat, alkaline foods. But like you say, where are you going to get these foods from? You can go to a farmer's market, see if you can get them from there. Probably be better than going to your local supermarket. Or you can go, a lot of people know about Spitalfields and places like that where you can go get fruits and vegetables. Yeah. We got to try and do the best we can in this environment. Because like I say, we live in an obesogenic environment. So trying to get the best sources as possible. However, I will say with regards to grapes, there's a lady called Joanna Brandt, and she wrote a book called The Grape Cure in, I think it was the 1930s. Yeah.
Wow.
She used grapes to reverse her breast cancer. Just on grapes. Just on grapes. So she done everything. She done chemo. Chemo didn't work. She still had cancer. So she done a water fast. She did a water fast for long.
That didn't work.
It shrunk the tumor. Shrunk the tumor, but it didn't get rid of it. Yeah.
Oh.
She done a green juice fast because she knew about alkaline and green juice. She done a green juice fast. Shrunk the tumor, didn't get rid of it. She found out about grapes, how powerful grapes are. Grapes are what they call astringent. So when you eat grapes, they can literally pull tumors out of your body.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how powerful they are.
Cilantro do that or something like that as well. Am I wrong?
Cilantro is good for pulling heavy metals out of your body.
Okay.
Yeah. And heavy metals is very important because a lot of us have heavy metals because of vaccines and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, getting heavy metals out of your body is very important. But yeah, the grapes will pull tumors and all types of stuff out of your body if you're just on grapes. Because if you mix it up, the body gets confused. So she went on grapes for like a month.
Any particular type
Seeded.
of grapes? Is it like
Black seeded grapes,
Okay.
dark.
Seeded.
However, she said there was a point where she couldn't get the seeded grapes, so she went with the unseeded, and it still helped.
Swear.
In other words, the quality of the food is extremely important. But what's more important than the quality is the consistency.
Yeah.
So she just stayed on grapes. Regardless of whether they were organic or not organic, she stayed on grapes, and the grapes did their thing, and she reversed their breast cancer.
how
She
long
got rid of-
for?
Month.
How long? Yeah, about a month she was on it for.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But she saw results after 2 weeks. Now, I do something called the 40-day fruit fast. I do a 40-day fruit fast.
Sick.
And the students that have been doing my 40-day fruit fast, they've been getting some amazing results within 40 days. We've had people reverse cancer within 40 days. We had a lady reverse her chronic kidney disease, and she put in the group, she showed everyone, this is my reading. I went to the doctors, this is what they said. I've got chronic kidney disease. She put all the numbers in there. Then after the 40-day fruit fast, she went back to them, and then they did the numbers, and they were like, you don't have any kidney disease anymore. And if you listen to them, they'll tell you that chronic kidney disease is incurable. You understand?
With their medicines.
Exactly. That's why it's very important that we do not listen to them. We do not, a lot of us, we listen, because no one's teaching us the truth about melanin and who we are and science. We look at these people as an authority when it comes to science. So anything they say, we run with. Anything they say in the UK, we run with. The big one, and people who follow me, they know I always talk about this, but the big one in the UK is they always tell us that black people are more likely to die from something.
Yeah.
They say in the UK, black women are 4 times more likely to die from childbirth and pregnancy. But they don't tell us why.
Yeah.
They say that black men are 4 times more likely to die from prostate cancer.
Yeah.
But they don't tell us why. And we believe them because they know science and we don't. So we're like, oh, black men, we're 4 times more likely. Just ask them why. They won't be able to tell you.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, we're not sure why, but come get tested, come do this treatment, come lose your prostate.
You sound like my guy Yaki, man. Yaki
Awakened. Big him up.
He said, I think it's like biochemistry. So he said that black people's stomach operates at a different temperature to white people's and something like that. And that's why our diet we shouldn't eat what they eat because it don't agree with us or something like that.
Yeah, their stomach, their chemistry is a little bit more acidic than ours. And the acid
they
again.
can eat certain things that
Right. So when it comes on to meat and things that are hard to digest, if you've got high acid, which we all have in our stomach, but if it's extremely high, it's going to help you digest those hard foods like the steak and all that sort of stuff. Do you get what I'm saying? We don't have that. That's the reason why, big up Dr. Sabi, we should be on more of an alkaline diet. Because meat and all that sort of stuff is acidic. And again, it's not that acids are bad and alkaline is good, but just like a battery, you need more alkaline. And the alkaline should be from fruits and vegetables, mainly fruits, because fruits is where you really get the electricity.
was it we're frugivores or something like that?
Yeah, you could say that, but I'm even though I'm high fruit, my diet is high fruit. I wouldn't.
Cook food.
Yeah,
Okay.
but rarely.
Okay. When you
Yeah,
say
I'm saying
rarely, you mean
rarely
in a
means
week?
that
Give me a
rarely.
week.
Nah, like you see how people say they drink socially.
Yeah.
I eat cooked food socially.
Oh, okay.
If I'm going out, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
If I go to someone and they've cooked for all of us, I'm gonna eat. If we go out to a restaurant, then I'll eat. But if I'm doing my own food, I don't eat cooked food.
Okay. Give me a meal.
Yeah, what's your day like? Like from breakfast, lunch, and
You lot are
Do
gonna
you even eat
think I'm
3 times? Do
crazy.
you even eat 3 times a day?
Nah, like I'm just mainly on fruits, and then in the evening I might have quinoa and a salad and that.
I
Sort of
live
stuff.
on quinoa, you know.
Yeah, quinoa's dope. Quinoa's dope,
Thank
and it's
you.
high in protein. So quinoa, salad, nuts, seeds, all that sort of stuff. But when I'm putting together events, which I am all the time, basically, or when I'm doing something that I feel is very significant, I want to have a very clear mind. So I fast, and the easiest fast to do is like a juice fast, because you're still getting the energy from the fruits and that. So I've got the Men's Health event coming up, so I'm fasting right now. I'm just on juice. Literally, I wake up, and for an hour, first thing in the morning, I'm juicing, and I've got my black grapes. I got my pineapples. Sometimes I do watermelon. Not now because it's not summertime, but juice up, and then I've got like my liters and liters, maybe 4 to 6 liters of juice, and that's me for the whole day.
Is that does that spike it?
Just
Sorry.
ask, sorry, like in terms of like us being here in the UK and stuff, or anyone in the diaspora, like how much have we adapted to our environment? Because I wonder like how because if we're different from the majority of people in this country kind of thing, like, but we eat that kind of diet, like how much are we adapting, or how long does it take to adapt to that environment, and how do we reverse that, I guess?
Yeah, good question. I feel like I'd answer your second question first. Reversing it is just education and knowledge. Knowing who you are, knowing what sort of food you should really be eating for your biogenetics and that sort of stuff. And again, no one's teaching us this stuff. So good question. We eat like everyone else. So even though we are different, we are biologically different, our genetics are different, yeah, our skin is different, we're all different, and there's nothing wrong with being different. But we all eat the same. We all eat the same processed food. We all eat the same junk food. We all go to Nando's. We all eat the same, yeah? And again, in this environment, us living here, where it's not really conducive for our melanin, us eating this way is going to have more of a negative effect than everyone else eating this way. Hence the reason why they can come out with studies saying black people are more likely to get prostate cancer and black women are more likely. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's because I don't believe that narrative. I feel like they say that narrative to put fear in our hearts, just to make sure that we come to them and do their tests and take their medication and that sort of stuff. It's a false narrative. But if I say that you're more likely to die from something, you're going to come to me for answers. And if my answer is, okay, you need surgery, okay, you need to take this medication, then it served the purpose, me telling you you're more likely to die. Do you get what I'm saying? I always say to people, if they can tell you you're more likely to die and can't tell you why, do not believe them. Do not believe them. So
And it's not a quick fix like that. It's not just surgery fixes stuff, innit? It's a process, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be holistic. It should be things that we're doing on a regular basis. So, for example, my event coming up, the Hidden Science of Black Men's Health, I'm going to be talking about what black men should be doing to not only prevent prostate cancer, but to kind of reverse it. But they should be doing this on a regular basis anyway. Black men, we should be taking care of ourselves.
Yeah.
Not just physically, going gym, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychologically. We need to take care of ourselves. Do you get what I'm saying? Because the attack on us as black men and black women is a spiritual attack. And it's not just a physical attack. It's an emotional attack. It's a psychological attack. It's a mental attack. And because we don't realize this, we fall victim to it all the time. We fall victim to it. And again, because a lot of us don't really know this knowledge, we don't know about Dr. Francis Crick, or we haven't read a book, or we don't know about Neely Fuller Jr., that book. We don't even know how to operate in this system. Do you understand? And going back to your question with regards to adapting, I feel like we haven't. We haven't adapted. We're just eating the foods. We're acting like, have you guys seen the movie Sinners?
Yeah.
So you understand how vampires operate, yeah? So I call the usual suspects, I call them vampires, yeah? And remember, the vampires, they're very polite. Vampires are not just going to enter. They're going to ask you, can I come in? And I tell people, with regards to that Sinners movie, the juke joint, which the vampires desperately wanted to come into, the juke joint represents your mind. The juke joint represents your subconscious mind. The juke joint represents your culture. You can't just let anyone into your culture.
If you ain't seen the film, is the juke joint like a place?
It's like the rave.
Okay.
When the vampires are trying to get into the rave.
Okay.
They ask them, "Can we come in?" And they're like, "No, we're not letting you guys
Okay,
in."
okay.
But they get in. But they get in because they're very slick in how they get in. But I use it as an analogy. That jute joint represents your culture. That jute joint represents your mind. That jute joint represents your melanin. So anytime you allow anything to pierce this, it's like you're letting the vampires in. So that's like vaccines. So a vaccine is like a vampire, and if you allow that to go through your skin, that's like the Sinners movie when you're allowing the vampires to come in. Yeah. And I feel like we haven't adjusted to, or the environment that we live in, and this is the reason why we're suffering. A lot of us have got health issues and that sort of stuff. Do you get what I'm saying?
I want to ask you about, I want to delve a bit more into how, I guess, black men can protect themselves from certain things, right? Like you mentioned, psychologically, spiritually, emotionally, things of that nature. But, of course, you did mention the event that you've got coming up. Guys, please make a note of this, right? The Hidden Science of Black Men's Health. November 22nd, Saturday, November 22nd. And, it's from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. And they're asking real serious questions. In fact, they're answering the questions that we hear around, right? So, for example, why are black men 4 times more likely to die from prostate cancer? And what can black men do to protect themselves? Why are black men more likely to suffer from hypertension and diabetes at a younger age? Why are black men 17 times more likely to be diagnosed with a mental health condition and 4 times more likely to be sectioned under the Mental Health Act? A plethora of different questions that you're going to get proper answers to. Please come down, not just to support, which you should be doing anyway, but so we can get some real information that's going to benefit us. And again, even though it is for black men, women are most definitely welcome. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we get the information only because the women are there. You know what I'm saying? Big up the women every time. You know what I'm saying? So please, guys, November 22nd. I'm going to remind you guys again anyway. November 22nd, Saturday from 12 to 6, The Hidden Science of Black Men's Health. Ben, were you going to say something?
For those who are listening and they are international viewers, can they watch it online?
So we do put out all of our events, or most of our events. We put them on YouTube. Yeah, so we record all of our events. So I've pretty much recorded every event I've done, and then we edit them and then put them on YouTube. So if you go to the Hidden Science Academy YouTube channel, you'll see a lot of our events, lectures from previous years and that sort of stuff. So eventually you'll get to see it. Eventually you'll get to see it. But yeah, there's nothing more powerful than coming to one of our events. Everyone who's come to a Hidden Science Academy event, they are absolutely blown away.
Sick.
Absolutely blown away, because they're walking in. I usually run my events at university, so they're walking into a university and then everyone's black. Like the lecturer's black, the audience is black, my security is black, the videographers are black. They're just like, what the hell? And we've taken over the university. And these universities, like school and college, they're used to miseducate us. You get what I'm saying? We leave university, like I did, confused. I went to university thinking I'm going to learn some stuff. I had more questions than answers when I left university. So now I'm utilizing these universities to re-educate us.
Reverse vampire.
Reversing it. Reversing it.
I think I just want to stick on the food thing, because I think that's like a mad important part. Yeah, is because I listen to Doc Sebi and all these people. Yeah, is every disease like mucus build up?
Yeah, so Dr. Sebi says there's one disease, mucus. Yeah, you got to look at it like health is like the flow of electricity through your body, yeah? And if you have anything blocking that electricity, it's going to lead to some form of health issue. You get what I'm saying? That's the reason why fasting kind of solves every issue, because if you're just on water, it's going to remove those blockages. If you're just on juice, it's going to remove those blockages. What we tend to do, again, because no one's taught us about how our bodies work from a black perspective, when we're sick or we've got some form of issue, our thing is, what can I take? What can I take? What can I take? Do I need CMOS? Do I need this? What can I take? What can I take? What can I eat? What can I blah? The easiest thing you can do is not take anything. Fast.
Yeah.
Your body repairs itself.
Your body repairs itself.
It's
And
like
then
animals in the wild, when they have it, they stop eating.
Exactly. Stop eating. The issue is there's some form of blockage in your body, or you're causing an issue with what you're eating. Stop everything. Just go on. Water's a tough one. I've done water.
I did 5 days water, man.
How
Felt
was
brand
that?
new after, though.
Really?
After the 3rd day, it gets much easier.
Yeah. There's like a tipping point where you're dizzy. Did you feel dizzy?
Yep.
Yeah, you're dizzy. You're waking up and
Lightheaded.
lightheaded and all that sort of stuff. But then there's like a tipping point where you're like, wow.
You feel invincible after that.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. And you don't feel hungry.
No.
When you get to that point, then it's easy.
Yeah.
But to get to that point, you got to go through hell. Like,
I did fruit for a while.
Okay.
And did water.
that is so important because a lot of people, they might just jump straight into water fasting. I would not. No way. Because if your body starts to detox on a high level, all that detoxification is going back into your system. So you're going to suffer from mad migraines and think about it. When, let's say in your colon, there's a blockage, When that gets released, that goes through your colon and then it comes out. But what if there's a blockage in your artery, and then that gets released and gets blocked somewhere else? That could cause a problem. Do you get what I'm saying? So to slow that down, like you did, start on fruits. Either fruit juice or just eating fruits. That will kind of break down some of these hard tissues, whether it's a fibroid or a tumor, anything fibrous, it will break it down. Then you can go into the water to kind of flush everything out. Makes it
What
easier.
about the sugar aspect of fruit? Because if you're consuming that much sugar, what's the implication there? Especially like people who've like pre-diabetic or diabetes and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so with regards to sugar, we got to understand the terminology. So in fruits have fruit sugar, which is fructose, That's what your body actually utilizes for energy. There was a Yale study a couple years ago that proved that your brain, the human brain, converts glucose into fructose. Now, why would it do that? Unless you need fructose, So your brain runs on fructose, So when it comes onto sugar, people like sugar's bad. Processed sugar is bad, and that's the sugar that you need to stay away from. White sugar is bad. That's the sugar you need to stay away from.
What about brown? That's bad as well.
Well, it's processed. You know what I mean? It's not natural. It's not, you know what I'm saying? But sugar that's in fruits is a natural thing. Now, that being said, there are higher sugary fruits and there are low sugary fruits. So if you are pre-diabetic, you'd have to go onto the low ones. Berries are low. So berries are great for someone who's on diabetes. Berries, blueberries, blackberries, they're low sugar fruits, And even grapes. Grapes come under the berry family. So when I was doing my 40-day fruit fast, I tend to just start off or do most of it on grapes, and I tell my students to do most of it on grapes. We had a lady who, she was on metformin, which is the medication that they give you for type 2 diabetes. She was off of her metformin after 20 days. So remember, the fast is 40 days. Halfway through it, she came off of metformin.
Wow.
The things that they tell us about health and how our bodies work, most of it is the total opposite. Do you understand? They'll say, oh, yeah, you got to be aware of, you got to be careful with fruits. No, fruits is your energy. Do you understand? They say, oh, you got to be careful with the sun. No, the sun is your energy.
Tell them about the lymphatic system.
Yeah.
Is it that's what like clears your body or stuff like that?
That's right.
What, because we eat, it's clogged up or something?
That's right. Or it's slow because you got your lymphatic system and like your circulatory system, which is your blood and your arteries and all that sort of stuff. Your circulatory system, your blood carries the oxygen to your cells and carries the nutrients from the food that you eat to your cells, And it tries to maintain a certain pH, like 7.3, 7.4. It doesn't really want to go below that or above that, So it carries that pH and it carries the oxygen, carries the nutrients. So you could say that the blood feeds your cells. Your lymphatic system gets rid of the waste from your cells. So you've got two systems, one that feeds it, one that gets rid of it. Now, what's good about the one that feeds it is it's controlled by your heart. So because your heart's beating, that can flow. There's no pump for your lymphatic system. So it's sludgy. It's trying to get rid of the waste, but there's nothing to pump it through. So it's going to be slow regardless of what we do. So we need to make sure that we're moving. People talk about rebounding, bouncing, doing skipping. You've got to move that lymphatic system. You don't need to do anything to move your circulatory system. It's going to move.
Too.
There you go.
Come on.
Yeah.
Would that help to lymphatic?
Nature's movement.
Any movement, but the thing is with sex, you're horizontal, So, or maybe, maybe if you're not from, maybe if you're from Trinidad. You see, when you're doing something where you're jumping up and down, now you're moving your whole body, and now your lymphatic system can move. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, if we're doing any type of movement is going to be good. But when you're kind of bounding up and down, that's going to be very powerful for your lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system doesn't have a pump, so you need to move your body in order to move your lymphatic system.
I wanted to ask you something before we go into the 2 questions, right? I don't want to forget the hyperpigmentation one there. Right? What is your views on hyperpigmentation? So obviously, people talking about, oh, you know what, I've been in the sun too long or whatever it may be, I'm getting darker and it's not my natural color, How does melanin work in that respect? Like, does the melanin get damaged and making it turn darker? Or maybe when it's darker, it's more energized, it's a better form? Like, what is hyperpigmentation?
So when it comes on to us healing from anything, again, melanin is the chemical key to life. So it's going to help us with everything. So anytime you're damaged, people talk about oxygenated blood going to the area, which is true. Oxygenated blood will go to an area. If you damage an area, oxygenated blood will flow. But your body will produce a lot of melanin in that place as well to heal it. That's the reason why if you look someone in the eye, they get a black eye. Your body's going to produce melanin to heal it. And this is the reason why hyperpigmentation happens. If you're out in the sun and the sun's damaging you in some way, shape or form, your body's going to produce a lot of melanin in that area.
Like what a bruise is?
Yeah, the bruise is kind of like the blood coming to the surface as well. Yeah, so.
But shouldn't that be? Do you mean like when you get a pimple or something? Not like being in the sun. I think isn't that more like a tan rather than?
But some people will get like hyperpigmentation in just one part of their body. You get me? Or one part of their face, and they're like, "Oh, what's going on?" Because I've just been out in the sun.
Okay.
So yeah, and again, that's nothing to do with the sun and more to do with your diet and things that are going on internally. It's just that the sun's revealing it. I'd say that the sun's the great revealer. You know what I'm saying? If you've got anything going on internally, the sun's going to reveal it. I used to suffer from hay fever like mad when I was growing up. I used to hate summer because that's how much I used to suffer from hay fever. Yeah, eyes, nose itching, it used to make my summers just terrible. Yeah, and I used to think, oh, the sun. Anytime I see the sun, I'm like, oh no, because I associate the sun with hay fever. I associate hay fever with just depression and do you get me, suffering. It weren't until I did a detox and I did just green juice. I was just doing celery and cucumber. Just celery and cucumber. I just stopped eating everything I was eating because I used to love bread. I used to love pasta. I used to love hard-boiled bread. For those of you who know about hard-boiled bread, you'd cut the thick slices like this and have cheese.
Toast that boy with the tea.
I used to have all of that, bun and cheese, all of that, and it's all stodgy. All stuff that just creates blockages inside of you. And then, I was suffering from hay fever, did a green juice fast, and within 2 weeks, I'd suffered from hay fever for damn near my whole life. Within 2 weeks, I was walking outside, I'll never forget, I was walking through the park, and I was like, I haven't sneezed. This is crazy. And usually when I walk through the park, it'd take me 10 minutes, and by the end of the 10 minutes, eyes watering, nose going crazy, and like walking through the park is suffering. I was walking through the park and I'm like, okay, I'm halfway. I haven't sneezed. What's going on? I'm coming to the end of me walking through the park, and I got through the park. I was like, no way. And that's all the evidence I needed to say, do you know what? When you've got a cleansed internal system, you won't be suffering from these things. The sun just reveals what's going on. Yeah. But once I cleansed internally, the sun was good with me.
Wicked. What if you would suggest
Before we continue, please,
Sorry.
I beg you take notes, right?
I hate
in
hay
here in his
fever.
bag, innit?
I hate hay fever.
Everyone,
Oh
hay
my
fever's
goodness.
mad.
Hay fever gets me, man.
I've got really bad hay fever. Like I will wake up sneezing. Like it's intense.
Yeah.
You know.
So it might be a food that you're eating. So I've got friends that they kind of work with me. Big up my friend Natal. She does food intolerance tests. So she could kind of determine what's causing you the issue. Do you get what I'm saying? And then you could just eliminate that and then continue on. My thing was I just eliminated everything. Do you get what I'm saying? I was like, I'm not going to go through and be like, is it this? Is it this? Is it this?
Yeah.
I eliminated everything and I didn't have the issue anymore.
Interesting. Oh, are we going to talk about hair?
Oh, yeah.
Because you also have a show next year,
Yeah.
April, my birthday month.
Oh, come. Make sure you come.
Yeah, about hair.
Yes.
And one of the things that I saw on there was about protective styling.
Yeah.
And how it can potentially do damage and stuff. And I wanted
Yeah.
to talk about that because I'm big into protective styling.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
a lot of people are, especially around this time, because
Yeah.
in this country, obviously, it's cold. We want our hair away, that type of thing. So, can you speak a little bit to that?
To be fair, when I do my events, it's not just me who talks. I always bring like very powerful speakers, yeah? So with that event, the Hidden Science of Black Hair, which is next year, family, that's on the April 4th at the Legacy Centre of Excellence, which is a black-owned venue.
Come on.
Yeah. We're going to be talking about, protective styling, but it won't be me talking about it. So I'm going to have people that are going to, they have the expertise in that. But just using simple logic, when you want a plant to grow, it needs oxygen and it needs water. Yeah, for a plant to grow, you need oxygen and water. As soon as you cut off the oxygen or cut off the water and sunlight, then all of a sudden the plant stops growing and it could die. That's the same with your hair. So a lot of black women are starting to put on these, what are they called, wigs and that sort of stuff, and glue them down. So now all of a sudden your scalp, your hair is not getting any oxygen, no sunlight, no nothing. Yeah, and then they wonder why they have hair issues later on in life. Do you get what I'm saying? It's very interesting when I do my hair events, because this is like the 5th hair event I'm doing. I've done, because like I told you guys earlier, the first event I done was the Hidden Science of Black Hair. Yeah. At LSBU, and I had like 300-400 people there. Yeah, and this one's gonna have more. But when people come to the event, because it's obviously not just women, when people come to the event, a lot of the guys, they have black, very black and very long hair. And you ask them, what do they do? And what do you think they say?
Nothing.
Nothing. I just leave it. I don't put no chemicals in it. I don't do this. I don't do styling and all. Nothing. Just let it grow.
And
then,
girl ask you, why are your eyelashes so long? Because I leave them alone and I
Leave
don't
them alone.
glue other ones on them.
Leave them alone. But then with women now, women are putting all types of chemicals. And again, I'm not pointing fingers at the women. It's the environment. You don't realize that this thing that you're putting in your hair has what they call EDCs in them. Endocrine disrupting chemicals. Again, they're not aware of this. BBC came out with a story a couple years ago saying most of the products that are aimed at black women, most of the hair products, have cancer-causing chemicals in them and EDCs.
I'm sorry to cut you. That's why yesterday I was asking what I was asking. Remember?
No, what do you mean?
Okay. About the lip gloss and the makeup and stuff.
Oh,
remember?
okay, cool.
It wasn't to be underhanded or nothing. Do you get what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah, we're not aware of this. So again, I'm not into the finger wagging, especially at us. If I'm gonna finger wag, it's always at the hidden hand. It's always at the environment, because they're the usual suspects. They're up to the usual tricks. But because we're not aware of this, we fall victim to it. We put on these chemicals, and what I hate is because we're not aware of it, and again, no one's teaching us science. They make us, because I always say that when it comes on to them teaching us about us, they tap dance around the elephant. Yeah, Melanin is the elephant in the room. So they become tap dancers. You go to the doctors, you ask them about your health, they'll never tell you about melanin.
Yeah.
They'll tiptoe, they'll tap dance. Do you get me? They'll say that black women are more likely to die from childbirth and pregnancy. Why? They'll start tap dancing. But because we look at these people as an authority, they can make us into tap dancers. Do you understand? So every summer, you go online and you'll see black people talking about, no, we can get skin cancer. You need to put on sunscreen. You have to put on sunscreen as a black person. Now they turn you into a tap dancer because you don't know the truth. Do you get me? You see black men talking about, black men, you have to go get tested because, you know that black men are 4 times more likely to get prostate cancer. Now they've turned you into a tap dancer, because if I turn around to you and say why, you're going to be like them. Well, we're not sure why, but go get tested. No, tell me why.
Yeah. You know what, Andrew, I can see a comment, Ben, if you don't mind doing the thingy on this app.
Oh, sorry.
And big up Andrew. He was here last week. He's always on the show, man. An expert, right, in so many different things, especially history and reconstructions of ancient Egyptian pharaohs and things of that nature, right? He basically came on the show one time and was speaking to us about exactly what you're talking about in terms of the SPF, the use of it, how it's more damaging for us than it is, you know what I mean, and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, he's there clapping because he came and said this and everyone got onto him.
So what did he say?
He basically
Because
said,
I still haven't finished the Inquisition, right?
okay, cool.
Are they natural SPFs?
You've put it on the nothing.
Sorry. Are they natural SPFs?
Natural. See, this is the thing because it's the people who are making it. They are the usual suspects, and they have never changed.
What I mean is not from the counter of some pharmacy in this particular country. Let's say back home, is it like rubbing certain clay and kind of putting it on us?
Yeah, anything.
You know,
I'm
aloe
down with
vera.
anything natural. I'm down with anything natural because you're getting your answers, your solutions from nature. And we've always done that as black people.
I don't feel the atmosphere is the same as it was back then.
Right.
So I think that what they used to do, we can't do anymore to protect us.
What did they used to do?
I don't know.
Right.
So let me stay here for a couple of seconds, all right? So I Googled it. When Andrew came on, his claim, he made several claims. One of the claims that he made was they're putting chemicals in the SPF that's causing us cancer, right? So don't use the SPFs, right? And I was Googling it at the time. Like, what did our ancestors in certain parts of Africa used to use for sun management, right? Because in my head, I don't think they just stayed and cooked themselves.
Because that's not our culture. We don't sunbathe.
Right, all right. So in my head, if there was sun management back then, there needs to be some sort of sun management now. I know you mentioned that the brothers are on the roof all day, but I don't think they can stay there all day if there's 24-hour sun. I know there isn't 24-hour sun where they are, 100%. After a while, something's going to happen if it is they don't look to manage their exposure to the sun. That's my estimation, right?
All right, so let me break it down like this because I mentioned this in the book. Again, the sun is melanin's number one nutrient. Yeah? Now, let's say if I asked you, what does your digestive system do? What would you say? Your digestive system?
It digests stuff.
Processes the food, no?
Processes the food, yeah?
Yeah,
Processes the food.
yeah.
Okay. Now, what if I turned around to you and said, you need protecting from that food? So that's what your digestive system does. It protects you from the food that you eat.
Yeah.
Does that make logical sense?
Yes.
It would.
Yes.
So you have a digestive system to protect you from fruits and vegetables.
Oh, sorry. I did the wrong thing, didn't I? No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No.
So you don't need protecting from fruits and vegetables.
No.
Your body's going to process it. So
Yes.
anything that's harmful, it's going to process it.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't need protecting
Yes.
from fruits and vegetables. Yeah?
Yes.
Even if it weren't fruits and vegetables, even if it's processed foods,
Yes.
you don't need protect. Your body's going to process it. Do you
Yes.
understand? Yeah? It's the same with sunlight. Your body's processing it.
Oh.
You don't need protecting from it. So when it comes on to managing it, just like food, you're not going to, even if it's fruits and vegetables, you're not just going to gorge on it the whole day,
Yes.
but you don't need to manage the fruits and vegetables that you're eating.
Yes.
Same with sunlight. You obviously not going to stay out there the whole
That's the
day.
part. That's the part that always trips me up because you say, obviously, I'm not going to do such and such, but it's suggesting that when it is you say what you say, when it is Andrew says what they say, he says it's as though you can expose yourself 24/7 without looking to do it.
But like you say,
And
the
shouldn't.
sun's not even up for 24 hours. The sun's only
that's
up
a
in
get out-
Jamaica.
that's
The
get out
sun's
of
up
jail.
from like 5, then goes down around 6. So and then again, those man them that are working on the rooftops, they might be there from like 9, and then they finish around 5. That's
Yeah.
the whole day though. They're out in the sun the whole day. The whole time the sun is up in the sky, they're outside and they don't have no issues. None whatsoever. And never have.
Question. Can they fall off and get a sunstroke or get a sunstroke and then fall off? Can they faint due to the exposure to the sun?
Potentially, but again, these people, we're talking about people who are used to the sun. These people who are working on top of the rooftops, they've been doing that their whole life.
And that's why I understood from what you said. Us being in this particular country,
not
we have
used to
been
the sun.
weakened. So if we
Right.
go there and the exposure, 100%, it's going to pop us down. Hence me asking, how do you build up your exposure wall? Not resistance, but he's suggesting that you
The
shouldn't
same
be
way
doing
you
that.
do it in the gym. You're not
No,
gonna.
but
go
I heard
in-
that. Yeah,
You're not gonna go in the gym and lift the heaviest of weights. Let me
Yeah,
pick
yeah.
up that light 2-kilogram dumbbell
yeah.
and start there. Drop my ego
Yeah,
and
yeah.
pick up and then do my little reps with this
Yeah.
and work my way up. So when you're out there in the sun, you're not gonna stay out there for 2 hours with your top off if your body's not used to the sun.
Yeah.
The sun's gonna deal with you. Plus, remember, it's not the heat, it's not the sun, it's what's going on internally.
Yeah.
So when you go out there and you're going out to Trinidad and you're going out there, and not you, but I'm just saying as an example, you're going out there and your stomach's full of acid, your stomach's full of alcohol, your stomach's full of processed foods and all that sort of stuff. The sun's gonna deal with you.
That I believe that the ozone layer is different than it used to be. I feel as though the sun touching our skin is now different because of what the chemicals they put in the air and stuff. So
I heard that you're supposed to, if you're going to build up that kind of like resistance or whatever, don't even know what's the better word for resistance. I don't know, but like you should start in the mornings.
Yes.
Like and try and get like from sunrise.
Yeah.
And try and like sun soak. I think in the mornings.
And there's actually a science behind that. So in the morning, when the sun's rising, it emits infrared light. And infrared light, you guys can do your research on it. That's the reason why people have infrared saunas and these infrared machines, because they're so powerful at healing the body from cancer and all types of things. You get that naturally during sunrise. That's the reason why you can look in the sun, because it's not as strong, it's not as bright, so you can get all the health benefits of infrared light in the morning. Not only that infrared light activates your melanin and prepares it for ultraviolet light later on in the day.
Oh, so if you do that, you're more capable.
You're more capable of withstanding with the afternoon quote unquote heat or the strength of the sun. But it's a science behind it. It's like the sun saying, "Let me prepare you for later." But you have to be exposed to me for me to prepare you for later. But a lot of us, we're not out in the sun at all, let alone in the morning doing sun gazing and that sort of stuff. So then we're going out there, the sun hasn't activated our melanin in the morning, so now we're going out there in the afternoon, the sun's blazing, and then you're wondering why the sun's dealing with you. Again, we don't know the science behind it. And when it comes on to our melanin being weak, a lot of people will say, well, if our melanin's weak, then we need sunscreen. That's like I used to play basketball, I used to have knee injuries. And when I went to the doctors, they gave me a knee brace, to allow me to play basketball. So when I put on the knee brace, my knee feels strong. But guess what happens when I take off the knee brace? It's weaker than it was. It's not just weak, it's weaker than it was.
I'm dependent.
Exactly.
You become dependent on it. So what do you think happens to your melanin when you put on sunscreen?
So at the end of it, then he was right, no?
Who was
Andrew? Because Andrew was like, no SPF in it.
all right,
Because
so
they've got you fighting someone else's battle. It's not even about you. It's not even about you.
He's in Discord. So this is what I was talking about, Leon, right? It's called, I don't know how to pronounce that, OTJIZE, which is a mixture of butterfat and okra pigment.
Okay.
And the Himba people of Namibia put it on to protect themselves from the harsh desert climate, right? And obviously this is what it kind of looks like. So they're using sun management nutrients and whatnot from the nature and whatnot. But why, if it energizes them?
Is it just the sun they're protecting themselves from, though?
That's the
Exactly.
So talk to me.
Yeah, a lot of the things that we used to do, it weren't specifically due to the sun. It might just be a part of a ritual. Like, for example, they used to put on, going all the way back to ancient Kemet, they used to put like the black makeup around their eyes. What do you think that's for? It's a ritual that they did. Or in certain parts of Africa, they'll kind of do these cuts on. There's some form of ritual to it. Do you get what I'm saying? So with the clay in that, there's some form of ritual to it. I think there's a cleanse. I think clay's known as a cleansing material. So they'll do it as, sometimes they put white clay and the white represents cleansing and that sort of stuff. So there's some form of ritual, there's some form of tradition to it. It ain't just to protect them from the sun. It's never that.
No, I mean, I don't think you've given me enough to basically sway my opinion that was used mainly for sun management, especially in the harsh climates of the desert.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
You
saying.
haven't convinced me.
But you remember, in the desert, you're not only.
Can I respond
It's not
to
just.
that?
Sorry. Hello, Andrew.
Brent.
Yeah, help me.
Morning, sir.
I am so open
Yeah, so I think-
to learning.
Yeah, so I just jumped in to say, first of all, very, very good show. Excellent show, in fact. So,
Yeah, Leon's brilliant,
appreciate
man.
the guest very much. You can imagine I'm here going, well, that's what I said.
Yeah.
But I think the big difference is, and this is what I'm noting, I think the big difference is when I came on the show, what I was saying felt like a direct challenge, because I think prior to me coming on, there had been quite a few shows of SPF promotion. And when I came in and said we shouldn't be using SPFs, I think a lot of people took it as a direct challenge, which I find totally understandable. But regardless of that, the information doesn't change. And I think just to kind of directly respond to your question regarding the Himba people who, for instance, use red ochre, and there are many other African societies, I think that's neither here nor there, because that's not what we were discussing. When we talk about SPF use in the UK, no one's going out and concocting their own, their own formulas or compounds of these natural medicines, and no one was suggesting that it's a bad idea that you put shea butter or things on your skin that actually do have natural kind of like sun protective or sun muting or UV muting kind of like properties. No one's arguing that. I think that the discussion was specifically chemical made SPFs. We should be avoiding them. My support for that argument was simply the fact that there had been several studies done proving that the chemicals in them are carcinogenic, like has been supported by the host. But also, in addition to that, as Black people with melanin and natural kind of sun, I don't even like using the term sun protection because I think it's a bit of a misnomer, but let's just call it sun protection. With natural sun protection in our skin, was actually self-defeating. And I tried to compound that argument with the fact that there were also additional studies done showing that actually Black people are more likely to get skin cancer when they have less UV exposure. So we actually have a negatively correlated relationship with UV exposure than white people do. These are just kind of the scientific facts. These are things that have been proven, by multiple controlled studies. So the Himba wearing something that is proven to have some protective formulas, let's not move the goalposts of the discussion here, because people like to kind of raise that to say, well, if they did, I did. Well, do it like they did it then.
Right.
You do the
Right.
centuries of
yeah.
research.
This is why I asked about natural
that went into them
nutrients.
putting those formulas. Don't use these kind of like off-the-shelf Olay and then act like what you're doing is comparative, because it isn't.
All right, so
That's
let me apologize if that's how I was coming across, because I think
No, not you. I'm just saying general.
yeah,
Subhanallah.
I'm glad that you basically said all of that. Now, I don't wear SPF, right? Even when I go on holiday, I don't do it, right? But I know that there are some Black people who do. Some people have skin conditions. And I don't know, you're saying it's what happens in your insides that could change this annex, and they haven't gotten there yet, right? So they are scurrying around trying to basically find solutions to ease their pain and suffering, right? Cool, wonderful. Now, I wanted to know if SPF full stop, I'm talking about protection from the sun, not the things that you can get from these particular pharmacies. I'm not talking about that. Natural resources that are from the earth and this, that, and the next. Is it that I can walk around without worrying about the exposure to the sun? Once as I build my tolerance up, I can just walk around and not worry about any sort of exposure. Do you understand? Hence me saying, but Trinidad is very different to these desert climates. I understand that. So even if it is I build up a tolerance in Trinidad, that doesn't mean that I'm going to be good when I go over there, right? So when I said natural, I was more so speaking to those who think no protection at all is the way forward. Do you understand?
They're
management.
They're few and far between. So that conversation is null and void, because the people who believe that we don't need any protection are few and far between. Do you get what I'm saying? And if we're being honest, we don't. But because our melanin is weak, that's the reason why we seek these protections. You see what I'm saying? And I like the fact that you was like, okay, what about natural SPFs? I'm for everything that's natural. That's the reason why when they talk about sugar, you have to classify what you're talking about. Because if you're saying sugar is bad, you can't be talking about fruit sugar. You can't be talking about fructose. But because they've labeled sugar as bad, people will believe that fruit must be bad then, because fruit is full of sugar. That's where you have to make the distinction. So when I say SPF, yeah, obviously I'm talking about the man-made stuff, because the man-made stuff is made by the usual suspects, and the usual suspects, they haven't stopped. They do madness towards us. Do you understand? And the reason why they do it is because they understand the value of this thing more than we do. They study this thing. In my book, I proved that back in medieval times, they used to eat us. They during slavery, they used to do experiments on their slaves, eat their slaves. For those of you who know your history, you know about Nat Turner, who done the rebel. When they caught him, they literally scraped his skin off because they were like, "What made you rebel? It must be this melanin thing." Took his skin off his body, ate it, did all types of experiments, made stuff from his skin and all that sort of stuff. Do you get me? Anytime we do something that's against the system, they think it's due to some form of melanin magic. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the reason why to this day they teeth our cells, tissues, organs.
Yeah,
for those of you who know about Henrietta Lacks.
Adrenochrome. You heard about that?
I've heard about adrenochrome.
It's like the blood or something.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
This is what, again, the usual suspects, they haven't changed. They're very cannibalistic. They have a vampire culture. And this is not even me saying that. I've got a book called Mummies, Cannibals and Vampires. It's by a white European university lecturer called Richard Sugg. And he basically just breaks down their history all the way from ancient Egypt all the way up until now. And basically what he's saying is the medical industry as we know it today and medicine, it was all based off of this corpse medicine that they used to deal with. So when it came onto the mummies, again, they were wondering who built these pyramids, who did these things. Okay, we've got a mummy now. This was a pharaoh. What made this person so great? They did studies on it. They realized these mummies were full of melanin. And then they started to eat them and use the mummies as medicine. They used to crush the mummy's skulls and use the powder for ailments of the head. Yeah, they used to do this, and in the UK they used to do this with the kings. The kings used to have any type of ailment they were dealing with. It was corpse medicine they were dealing with, and the corpse was us. The corpse was melanin. Do you get what I'm saying? So we've always been their medicine, always to this day.
My last question, because I keep detracting from your point.
No, wait, Chinks. Is there anything else you wanted to say, Andrew?
I mean, there's a lot I could say about this subject. I do think he's dealing with tackling it really well. Someone in the chat did mention regarding I don't know if you want to dredge this up again, but someone mentioned regarding me deciding not to put a hat on my daughter's head when the school directive was to put hats on. And I don't need to justify that, just to be very, very clear. Yeah. So the story was I sent my daughter to school, and then they came back with a letter saying the kids all need to have some protection on their skin and need to wear hats for play. And I said, no, my child doesn't need SPF on her skin. And actually, she doesn't need a hat for the little 40 minutes of lunchtime when you guys run around. She's actually perfectly well protected. And I understand why they did it, because they like to kind of like democratize the kind of weaknesses of biology that exist amongst kind of like non-melanated people and say these are things we all issue with. But you have to understand it's a difference between my child. For them, it's a mortal issue. Their child running around in the sun for 40 minutes could end up with sunburn, at the worst case scenario, something much worse. My child is going to come to no harm in the UK sun running around for 40 minutes. I know that because I just came back from the Caribbean a few weeks ago and they were running around with no hat on their head for hours on end in the beach. So no, I don't need to justify that. That's a choice I made as a parent. And I'm an exceptional parent, by the way. That's a choice I made, and I'll do it again. So yeah, you can call that wild or a mad take if you want to. That's my choice as a parent. I actually tell my kids what their biological strengths are, and I don't allow the school to impose biological weaknesses upon them, because they will do that at every turn. I tell them this is where we as Black people have an advantage, and that's why you're not going to do this.
Thank you.
And on that point, because I feel like that's a good point. Brent, you mentioned, you still haven't convinced me. I'm not here to convince you about anything, because that's the reason why I've written the book. When it comes onto science, I say to people, I'm not a finger wagger. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I've just put all the information in the book, and it's scientifically referenced as well. This is not Leon Marshall's opinion. Everything I say is backed up with scientific references from people who don't look like me. So this is what they're saying about melanin. Yeah. So, and the reason why I say that is because every year people will contact me and be like, Leon, I'm in this WhatsApp group, and they're saying that black people should be putting on sunscreen. What should I tell them? And I tell them,
go and do it.
Yeah, exactly. I tell them what my grandmother told me. Go on.
If you take their word,
I'm not here to convince anyone to not put on sunscreen. I've put, and again, it's not my opinion. Based on scientific references, most of the sunscreen products have cancer-causing chemicals in them. Once I've put it in my book, or once I've told you, and you're like, you're not convincing me, I'm still gonna wear sunscreen. Guana. That's what my grandma would have said. Guana, because my grandma would have said, if you can't hear, you must feel.
Yeah.
Guan. Guan.
Look at the ingredients. If there's anything,
I'm not even gonna say that.
Don't
Guan.
use it. Yeah.
I don't have to convince you of nothing. Guan. Put on the sunscreen.
Yeah.
I'm not convincing you.
All right, thank you, Andrew. Just so you're aware, me saying I'm not convinced, it was based on the question I asked and the insufficient response I believe I got. So I was like, no.
But like I said, I'm not trying to
It
convince you of anything.
It was this one.
Oh, okay.
It's this one. Don't worry. It was this one.
You're just
How's he
you're a scapegoat. You're actually a scapegoat. I saw that. That's got nothing to do with you. I saw that. But he ain't got that energy, so I saw all of that. I saw that. And I apologize for them involving you because that had nothing to do with you.
Stop it.
They thought I'm gonna get my big brother Leon. That had nothing to do with you. That had nothing to do with
All
you.
right, good morning. What was your name again? Jackie.
Very rude. Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Talk to us. What we saying?
Looking at the chat, I think we have this biasness against natural remedies and what's worked. And I always think if people have survived, then it's worked. So
For them,
I think what
surely.
Africa and sorry,
For them, surely.
that's why we're alive. That's why there's still people in Africa, because they've been able to build their natural defenses. So something must be right with what we're doing. But I think what we need to tie it in with is the scientific backing as well. Because I think people are skeptical they've been told that sunscreen works, but maybe it works because we are using creams that have chemicals in it. So it's acting as a barrier for the creams that we're using with chemicals, if that makes sense. So if we were using all natural products like what our grandparents were using, maybe we wouldn't need theirs. So I think there's that kind of tie-in as to trying to explain to people why we shouldn't use the current sunscreen that's there. That's that. 'Cause I think we're very skeptical with what has worked. So if someone says, just take CMOS, no, I've got to take paracetamol. If someone says, just rest, no, the doctor said I should let me just take this, let me just take that. So there's that skepticism with nature. And obviously that's down to, I don't know where Black Rob said, Rockefeller, whoever's introducing medicine that we're paying for. Whereas if they actually said, just let their food be thy medicine and thy medicine be food, the pharmaceutical companies will go broke. So if you look at Africa, when COVID broke out, they didn't die in Africa as much as they died. As much as Africans died more in the West than Africans died in Africa, because the Africans in Africa were taking natural remedies. But no one's going to laud them and applaud them because of the fact that it's African and also it's natural remedy. If they told you just grow this plant and it will work, the pharmaceutical company will die. And you won't be able to, the vaccine, all of those things that they make money from will then go to the ground. So there's that. But I also think things should be done in moderation. So when you go back home, you don't see people in the sun often. So if you find when you're back in Jamaica, back in the Caribbean, a lot of people are doing things when it's before sunrise or after sunset because the sun is so strong. But obviously, if you're living there for 10 years, you're going to get rid of the sun. You're not going to always be out of the sun. You're going to catch some of the sun rays. If you look at the market women back home in Barbados, they're wearing big ass sun hats because the sun can be a bit too much. But throughout their life and course of their life they're going to catch the sun. So the key is in moderation. You're not going to find how white people then bask in the sun. I don't see Black indigenous people in the Caribbean saying, I'm going to just sunbathe. The sun's going to beat them naturally. Like, I forgot the guy, so with his child, with the sun hat, they're running around. They're not getting much of the sun. It's 40 minutes of sun and that's it. And they'll run around at other times of the day. But it's moderation. Even with sugar and those things, when you look at the land, sugar cane might grow all the time, but bananas don't grow all the time back home. Mangoes, there'll be mango season. So there'll be times when the land will produce high fructose fruits. There'll be times when they'll produce alkaline-based fruits. There'll be time when the land produces acidic-based fruits, etc. And that's the time when we then eat it. So within the year, your body would have eaten things in moderation. So when I'm craving strawberries in December, naturally I shouldn't be eating strawberries in December. If I'm from the land, I should be eating what the land gives me at that time. And maybe the sun also has elements that is producing those fruits better, if that makes sense. I'm sure the sun's not doing the same thing 365 days of the year, nor is the soil. So there's that in food in moderation and also sun in moderation. Everything should be done in moderation. You can't go and say, I'm going to eat, well, I don't know, grapes might have helped, but naturally you wouldn't eat grapes all year round. You'd eat the food in season. That's also very important for us.
Thank you for that, Jackie.
Thank you. I think you had
Much
some
appreciated.
questions about the
On the Discord.
She was giving her 2 cents.
Yeah, her thoughts. All right, thank you, Jackie.
Appreciate it.
Quick question, yeah, because you're like everybody I study online, but I don't get to ask them questions, so I keep going back to food. So it's my last one, yeah. Mushrooms. So I've been using mushrooms as like a meat alternative, yeah. But then I saw this video and this guy was like portobello mushrooms. You shouldn't eat those. But then when they tried to probe him of why not, he went quiet and was like, "I'll my life's in danger if I don't," or some shit like that. So what do you think about mushrooms?
So I've gone on a journey and that sort of stuff. So I've used mushrooms as a meat alternative. And I like mushrooms. And mushrooms, according to the science, they do absorb vitamin D. So mushrooms is one of the few foods.
The high in
That we get from the sun.
Vitamin D, yeah. Vitamin D, people don't understand that your melanin has to absorb sunlight in order to convert cholesterol into vitamin D. So again, it's a process. You don't just get vitamin D. So when you're out in the sun and you're exposed and, unprotected, because if you're protected, you're not going to create vitamin D. If you're unprotected and your melanin's absorbing the sunlight like it should be, then your body converts cholesterol. There's a type of cholesterol, for those of you who are scientific, it's called 7-dehydrocholesterol. You guys can look it up. And it converts that type of cholesterol into vitamin D. And the only way it does that is when our melanin is exposed to sunlight. So if we're out there and we're covered up, no vitamin D. If we're out there and we've got sunscreen on, no vitamin D.
I'll bear back that thing, man.
And then they're going to turn around to you and say, you're low on vitamin D. Here's vitamin D supplementation. Do you understand?
Yep.
And again, because we don't understand the science, people are going to say to me, well, what about vitamin D supplements? I don't know. They create it. I don't trust them.
It's not natural, as you said. You said keep it natural.
Exactly. The naturalist way for you to produce vitamin D is when you're out there in the sun, allowing your melanin to do its process, allowing the melanin and the sunlight to do its process. So with regards to mushrooms now, mushrooms is like you can use it as a meat alternative. I was on mushrooms. I was bang on the mushrooms thing. I was like, yeah. Then I went to, I did an apprenticeship with Dr. Aris Lafam. Do you know who that is? Dr.
Oh, no,
Aris.
that's the Rasta, the blonde one.
That's the Rasta
who
got into the madness. Yeah. So he does raw food retreats. He's like he wouldn't call himself a chef. He says the sun is the chef. But he does raw food. He does retreats in Panama and all that sort of stuff. He's like a living legend when it comes on to eating healthily, eating raw. You know what I mean? What he calls sun-fired foods. Yeah. And he said, mushrooms are fungus. Why are you eating mushrooms? And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, mushroom is what grows off of the tree, and it's the fungus off of the tree. So you're eating fungus. And from then I was like, okay, that makes sense. It's logic. So from then I kind of backed away from mushrooms. But I haven't got no issue with people using mushrooms as an alternative. But it is fungus. It is fungus.
Oh, okay.
I don't think things from the ground is bad. It should be moderation, because why is fungus a bad thing in your stomach? Where's the evidence to prove that it's not processed correctly? And also, I don't think vitamin D is absorbed well from the sun with melanated people. I think the more melanin you have, the less likely you are to absorb it. However, we get it from our diet. And as you said, our diet was very rich in other things. To where we're missing out from somewhere else. Like now, we're not getting any of the nutrients from our diets. The potatoes isn't giving you nutrients. Broccoli that you eat once or twice of your chicken isn't giving you much. We had a much richer diet that allowed us to absorb vitamin D. But I'm just trying to confirm, but I do think melanin we don't get it as much from the sun as we think we do.
See, this is the
Because of
reason
our
why
melanin.
my book is
Exactly.
so important.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Because I can
Yeah,
hear when
that's
black people talk, I can hear where they get their information from.
Yeah.
You understand? So when it comes onto vitamin D, I can ask the caller, what does vitamin D do in the body? What's the main thing that they tell us vitamin D does in the body with regards to, if I said with regards to calcium?
Stronger bones.
Or doesn't
Don't help
Allows
her,
you
Brent.
to absorb the calcium.
It allows you to absorb more calcium in order for you to have stronger bones. So the easiest way to know if someone's got high vitamin D is they've got really strong bones. You know the easiest way to find out if someone's got strong bones? Yeah?
Punch
Look
them.
at sport. Sport is the only thing or the main thing that puts your bone density under the most pressure, the most stress, your skeletal system is under the most stress when you're running and jumping, especially jumping, so if you want to know who has the highest vitamin D levels in the world, who can jump the highest and run the fastest, because you can't have weak bones and be athletic. You can't.
You
But where's
disintegrate.
that from? But where's that? Is that why? How are we to know that it's from the sunlight as opposed to their diet?
I apologize.
I don't disagree that we
I
have vitamin
apologise.
D, but I think also it's from our diet.
So if
more so
we
than
both
anything
agree
else.
that black people have the highest vitamin D because we're the most athletic, we can jump the highest and run the fastest. What you're saying is
I
the
don't know. If
reason.
I'm tired these days, and I think vitamin D has a contribution to it. So I don't know.
No,
However, I
but the
think there's a
science
link.
is
I don't know, I think
vitamin
there's a
D
link.
allows you to absorb more calcium. That's the science. So if we're saying that
Yes.
black people can run the fastest and jump the highest, therefore have the highest amount of vitamin D, where are we getting that vitamin D from? The foods that
I
we're
would say
eating.
our food. Yeah. Our food is the richest. If you compare it to anyone in the land, the Caribbean, if you look at the equator, our food is rich because of the arable land and how many different foods we could then produce. As opposed to going to England, what do they produce naturally?
Let me.
So,
Alright. So when it comes
I
onto
don't
the
think we're
food,
what we can be devoid of.
because
Yeah.
I speak about this in my book. When it comes onto the food, Usain Bolt, when he was tearing down the track and breaking all of these records, Usain Bolt from Jamaica, who grew up in Jamaica, grew up on the land, when they asked him, what do you eat? Can everyone remember what he said?
Was it yam?
No.
What
What
was
did you
it?
say?
He said KFC, chicken nuggets. That's what he was eating. They were like, what do you eat? He's like, KFC, chicken nugget. That the race where he got 965, the one where he tore down the track and then he started thumping his chest and all that.
Yeah.
He said he ate chicken nuggets the night before. So what are we gonna say? That the chicken nuggets gave him vitamin D?
I hear you.
Or but then, conversely, you're going to say that he spent his time sunbathing. No.
No,
Maybe his
but
genetics
sunbathing is
already
what we don't do.
predisposed
The
to
fact that he
take.
grew up on the land. So yes, he was eating yam. Yes, he was eating the stuff from the land. And he grew
Yeah.
up in Jamaica, out in the sun. That's the reason why he has high vitamin D. It ain't got nothing to do with it's got something to do with the food, but the main thing is he's getting energized from his environment. His environment is the sun. His
How do you know he
environment.
wasn't out? He was.
I thought
How do you know he
everyone knew
didn't
this.
train
What's going on here?
in the dark?
He did. How
You
did I
wouldn't
know
know
he
that,
didn't
so-
train in the dark?
No, not in the dark. But how do you know he didn't train like outside of sun time?
Do you know there's actually
You don't know
videos
that
of him
either.
training outside? Do you know that? His coach is
I'm
called
sure
Chris
I'm sure
Mills.
that guy eats mango. I'm sure he eats something. He's
Of
not
course
just
he does,
KFC. I'm
but that's
sure he
part of the
eats
environment that he's
something.
living in.
Yeah.
The point I'm making is it's his environment that he's living in, and the environment, those foods that you say he's getting vitamin D from, guess what they're getting charged up by?
The sun, yeah,
Right.
100%. I agree
Right.
with that.
So the main source of his energy, even if you say indirectly, is the sun. If you're saying it's the food's getting charged up by the sun. So the main source of energy is the sun. Without the sun, those foods don't have the
They
energy.
don't grow in it as well.
Right.
Yeah.
But the point we shouldn't be out in the sun we should be out in moderation. And if we are, we need to protect ourselves. So the natural protectants that our forefathers used was the fact that they start their day early and then end early as well.
So,
So that's a form of sun blocking.
when did this start? Like, when did this phenomenon of starting
It's
certain
been there.
times? So
It's been there.
why
That's their protection.
why do you think black people are black? What's your science behind that?
No, definitely. I'm saying that with how much I think he was saying that people working in the field for long periods of time or whatever, that they naturally would have started earlier and finished earlier. You're gonna get sunburn even if you're out for half an hour. So naturally, your body will become darker naturally, and then evolution, your kids become darker, etc. But then have you seen how many kids are much lighter when they go, like your cousins that are abroad compared to your cousins in Africa? They're much darker because they're in the sun for some period of time, but not as long as this guy's saying.
And they're vitamin D deficient.
No, I didn't say they're vitamin D deficient.
No, I'm saying they are. A lot of us are deficient here in this country.
Because of our diet as well. We're not taking enough in our diet.
It's not just the sun, though.
It's our diet.
It's not just the sun, because again,
our diet.
The sun's going to affect the diet. The sun affects the diet.
Yeah, but the sun affects that, but also look at our diet anyway. What do we eat in our natural plate? It's carbs heavy. So, for example, if a Ghanaian is eating spinach stew, first of all, it's not even spinach, but they literally just boil it, soak it, and then mash it up in the pasta metal, and that's it.
This is the point I was making from earlier. I don't know if you've been listening from the start, but I said the reason why we have issues with the sun ain't got nothing to do with the sun. Do you understand? So it's the diet, and then the sun reveals what's going on. So people are in the chat are saying, well, what about people in the Caribbean? They got hypertension, they got this, they got that. Diet. Yes, because of the diet. When I go Jamaica, guess what everyone's eating? The same thing Usain Bolt was eating. Yep. KFC, fam. You go KFC on Friday, it's like a dance. It's like a rave. It's ram.
You know, I said this before. I used to work in the hospital. I used to take people to their hospital appointments all the time. And there's certain ethnic groups that have certain ailments. And it's not hereditary. It's the diet that's hereditary. It's full of black and brown people on dialysis and stuff like this because of what they eat. I don't understand what all the pushback
and
is.
It's a new thing. And that's what I was trying to say. Our forefathers they didn't die. If they weren't doing the right thing, we wouldn't be here. So therefore, there's something new that we've introduced that's bad. And it's from our diet, not necessarily the sun. So now, typically, if you did science, whatever, people died of communicable diseases back home, back in the past. They'll die of cholera, they'll die of malaria, whatever, communicable diseases or an infection. There'll be an infection in the area that people died from. They wouldn't naturally die of cancer. But now cancer's been introduced. So you'll see people in Jamaica getting cancer now because they're eating KFC. And it's not from the sun, it's from the diet. So the diet is the main thing. But my point is, I don't think we absorb, everyone should Google it because I'm 90% sure that we absorb vitamin D directly from the sun as much as we think we do, black people, but we rather get it from our diet.
Are you going to tell us to Google it and we got the guy who's got the whole book with all the science to back it?
This is the thing, and this is the reason why.
You don't query him.
This is the reason why. This is the reason why. You see in my book, you see who I reference. Them. Yeah. Because I know that people the caller won't believe me. Who am I? Yeah. But if I reference them, if I get white people to say what I'm saying, then they're like, oh, okay. And these are scientists. These are not just people from the street. These are I've referenced scientists from Japan. I've referenced scientists from Germany. I've referenced scientists from Africa. I've referenced everyone. This is not Leon Marshall's opinion. This is science, rude boy. So I'm not going to argue over science. The way your body produces vitamin D is when your melanin absorbs sunlight and then converts cholesterol into vitamin D. That's the way your body produces vitamin D. That's not Leon Marshall's opinion. That is science. Do you understand?
Obviously, sorry, Jackie. Sorry. I'm never going to be looking to silence anybody for flipping, asking questions or pushing back. You are going against like centuries of miseducation. So why is it a problem that she's asking questions or saying, why can't we question what it is that Leon's saying? I haven't met Leon before. The things I'm hearing from Leon, why can't I take it in and go and research myself? Oh, whilst he's here asking questions. This is no problem asking questions. Certainly you have a problem with Jackie asking questions, right?
No, I just see.
Or you, when it is that you're huffing and puffing, when it is that she keeps going back and forth, back and forth.
I don't have a problem asking any questions at all.
Oh, okay.
But I just always thought that everyone, not to sound some type of way, that everyone knew what the sun did, though. Like with regards to, us absorbing it and the process. So I'm kind of surprised I'm hearing it from this particular angle.
Can you also hear that both y'all, she's not disagreeing with anything other than just saying, are you disregarding the diet? And Leon has already basically mentioned,
I don't think
we talked about that before.
Exactly, yeah.
She may not have been on the flipping call.
Yeah, but no. But I think Jackie's basically saying that the vitamin D, how much we get from the sun, is overrated. That's not the source for us. The source is the food. Do you get what I'm saying? That's what you're saying, right?
And
yes. Exactly.
Yeah. We absorb it more from the food than we do from the sun. So I'm not saying we don't absorb it at all from the sun, but we absorb, us black people, from what I remember learning, is that our melanin does do a block. So if we're
Exactly.
in Jamaica, our food is our medicine and our food is how we live. If you don't eat, I knew some African uncle was like, I'm just going to sunbathe because I'm going to block out all the middlemen. The middleman is the animal. I'm going to block him out. Then the person before the cow gets their nutrients from the grass. I'm going to block the grass out. I'm going to go directly to the sun. We're like, what? How can you just bask in the sun and live? I know some people that do that and believe in just the sun gazing gives them the source of energy. Sun and water is the source of energy, but everybody else would get it from food. Food is our source of strength and energy, for sure.
Who's everybody else?
As a use of sustenance.
Who's
The
everybody
majority of
else?
people were supposed to eat
No.
90%, apart from that man and a few other people, we were meant to eat for sustenance, not for enjoyment. Like, I like eating food because I love food, but food was a source of energy and fuel. So if you didn't
still
need the
is.
energy, you shouldn't be eating. I eat for fun. I shouldn't be eating for fun. I eat because I need it. So therefore, if the land produces, I'm saying the point of, say for example, it's mango season, the land and the sun is clearly telling you this is the time to eat mango because your body needs the nutrients from mango. If it's banana season, your body needs the nutrients from the banana. And whatever nutrients the banana is producing in that land in Jamaica, it's going to be clearly a good defense system for the things you need in that season of your life. Or maybe your body now needs to do an uptake in magnesium or uptake in potassium. And throughout the year, you'd get a good number of things from the food we eat. But we don't do that anymore. We eat for fun. What am I craving today? I'm craving broccoli and sweet potato. Is that nutritious for you?
I just
It's
don't.
not.
I hear what you're saying. I don't think anyone's disagreeing with what you're saying in
That's
terms
what I'm
of
saying.
diet.
Like, there's no point in
Yeah.
there's no point in spending time looking to go back and forth. What she's saying, okay? Do you agree? Cool. Yes.
Everybody.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Can I jump in, Brent, really
Yes,
quickly? I just want to talk about vitamin D
Andrew.
quickly. Yeah, I just had a couple of thoughts. I think the first thought actually is just on a historical basis. We have to also, I agree with what Jackie was saying, by the way, regarding the kind of the seasons and making sure that we take things in at the season that they're actually naturally produced by the earth. There's also the added aspect that we have to take into account that we as mankind have had a massive effect on agriculture. So we have to kind of take into account, has a plant or a crop been imported from somewhere else and then become endemic to that region? Was it produced naturally at that kind of mass, or is that as a result of hundreds and hundreds of years of agriculture that has made that plant very dominant in the landscape? I think most of you will probably know there used to be was it 13 or 7 or 13 different types of banana. Now we only have one across the world, and this has happened with loads and loads of different kind of like plants and fruits and stuff like that, where all the variations have gone. So it's just something that came into mind thinking about that bigger picture. But sorry, the other point I want to make was regarding vitamin D, because vitamin D is something that is somewhat oversold in health. And there's a doctor called Dr. Alexis Cohen who has done a lot of research in the area of not only melanin synthesis, but also kind of the different things regarding dermatology and how it affects our biology. And she basically said quite clearly that vitamin D is an indicator, as opposed to, yes, we know vitamin D exists, but in terms of its effect on health, it's more useful as an indicator, in that people who have good overall health in terms of, their balance of nutrients will normally have high vitamin D. So in that, it's acting as a marker. So people think, oh, well, it's the vitamin D that actually causes the health. I'm healthy because I have vitamin D. And actually, it's found that vitamin D supplementation doesn't actually do that much for your holistic health. So if you've already got high vitamin D levels, or if you've got low vitamin D levels, your aim shouldn't be to pump up your vitamin D by taking vitamin D supplementation. Your aim should be to get your entire nutrition up. And actually what she says is actually get better exposure to sunlight. So it goes back to that sunlight argument, because a lot of these low vitamin levels are linked to the fact that people aren't charging their mitochondria in the sun. And sun, your mitochondria is that part of your DNA that people will know that's charged up directly by sunlight. Those cells are charged up directly by sunlight. Obviously, as Black people, we have an advantage because our mitochondria is coated in melanin. But even white people can do it in different ways. One of the ways that they can do it is kind of like taking cold showers and stuff like that. She talks about all of these different things. But the point being that sunlight, it does end up going back to being a sunlight thing. So even the vitamin D thing is not so necessarily a thing that I need to be pumping up my vitamin D levels. Vitamin D is just acting as an indicator for what's going on on a larger scale in your body. I hope I explained that okay. I know I was waffling a bit. Yeah.
No, thank you very much. Thank you. So we have a question from Prophet Katz. Just touching on his diet, can we ask the guest what are his thoughts on traditional meals eaten back home, which is heavy carbs, heavy protein, and a portion of vegetables on the side? I put this up when Jackie started talking about what we eat back home. So,
all right. So, what the caller said before with regards to agriculture's changed, yeah? So that means the food has changed. The soil has changed. And again, I referenced this in my book, Scientific References, to show that the soil is depleted of selenium. And selenium is a very important nutrient for people who have eumelanin. Yeah. Sulfur is a very important nutrient for people who have pheomelanin. Yeah. But the soil all over the world, but the soil is depleted of something that we definitely need. Yeah. And that's happened over time. So when we talk about traditional meals, we got to understand that what we were eating 50 years ago, 100 years ago, even if we eat the same thing, it's not the same.
Yeah.
Even if we say, yeah, we used to eat chicken, it's not the same. Chicken's not the same today. Do you understand? Whatever, yam is not the same today as it was 50, 100 years ago. It doesn't have the same nutrients because of the soil. The agriculture has changed. So even if someone was to turn around and say, black people, we need to eat broccoli. Broccoli's the thing that we need to eat. Dr. Sabi, that would be cool if the broccoli is the broccoli. I mentioned the grape cure and that Joanna Brandt lady, she cured herself of grapes. That was in the 1930s. She had black seeded grapes that were organic, that were very powerful. It might be more difficult for you to reverse breast cancer now with just grapes because the grapes have changed. Do you understand? So when we're talking about these things, we got to understand, again, the hidden hand. We got to understand that the environment has changed. So we can't say, well, traditionally we used to eat this, that, and the other. That and the other has changed now. So now we got to be more wary.
Maybe one could argue if it's
Sorry,
changed,
Jackie.
we now need to introduce SPF.
Sorry, Jackie.
So sorry.
When he finishes speaking, then you should speak. You shouldn't look to cut him off and then continue when it is that you don't hear anything in response. Yeah, I don't think he finished his thought, but no, I'm not sure if he remembers.
Yeah, that's what happens. But yeah, so with regards to the food, we got to understand that the food has changed. So let's say, because it is incorrect scientifically that we get vitamin D from food. We don't. We hardly get vitamin D. But let's say what the caller is saying is true. The fact of the matter is the food has changed. No one here can disagree on the fact that the food has less nutrients. Any food you're talking about has less nutrients today than it did 100 years ago. We have less nutrients. So if we get vitamin D from food, we get less vitamin D today than we did 50 years ago, 100 years ago. Yeah? So again, when it comes on to this argument, we can't say it's just the food. It can't be, because obviously the food has changed to the point where even if we were getting vitamin D, the amount of vitamin D that the caller believes we're getting from food, even if we were, it still wouldn't be enough because the soil has changed, the food has changed. The food has changed. And now, not only has the food changed, the caller will obviously agree that we do get at least some vitamin D from the sun. The food has changed and we're not enjoying the sun. Black people all over the world, you go to Africa, black people wear sunscreen, black people are bleaching their skin. You go to Jamaica, black people are putting up umbrellas and they're not out in the sun. We don't enjoy the sun like we used to. We're not out in the sun. So we're not out in the sun getting vitamin D, and the food that we're supposed to be getting vitamin D from is void of nutrients. So, and then you wonder why they turn around to us and say, oh, you're low on vitamin D, now take this vitamin D supplement, or now take this medication and that sort of stuff. It's because we don't know the truth. We don't know the truth. And this is the reason why with my book, I knew when I brought out a book on melanin, unfortunately, I knew I'd get people like the caller who have been taught the same stuff I was taught. Because remember, I told you I was so confused. And then it gets to the point where they want to argue with the science. These are scientific references. These are scientific references that are not Leo Marshall's opinion. I'm just presenting the evidence. This is what your melanin does. This is what the sun does. This is what sunscreen does. When you get that evidence now, you make your decision. That's why when people turn around to me and say, oh, yeah, I'm going to put on sunscreen. Go on. I'm not going to argue with you if you want to put on sunscreen. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maggie,
I agree with you, by the way. I do agree with, sorry, SP. I'm actually on your side. However, I'm saying in terms of vitamin D, I definitely stand by that. And please, everyone, just Google how much Black people and melanated people absorb vitamin D from the sun. I will stand by the food absorption more. But also, as you're saying, if things have changed, then shouldn't science then incorporate supplements then? If we're not getting the right nutrients from the sun, we're not getting the right nutrients from the food, then what's wrong with then us using blockers for sun protection and also vitamin D supplements as well? I do agree that I don't believe in chemicals, so I think the natural way is better. But if you're not getting it, then therefore the chemicals that they give you should act as a natural, not a natural, but a new barrier of protection for you.
You just said we should be using blockers. So we're not getting enough sun from the sun. We're not getting enough vitamin D from the sun. So we should use blockers.
No. So in terms of if we're not getting our natural SPF, if we're not getting a natural sun protector, then surely then we should use the artificial one. And also our creams now have
We
so
don't
much
get sun
chemicals in
protection
there.
from the sun. You said if we're not getting enough, I'm assuming you're talking about vitamin D, because that's what we were talking about.
Sorry,
That's what the topic was about.
Vitamin D. I stand by the food absorption. I stand by that. And I think if everyone can, I'll disagree with you on that. I agree with you on most things, but vitamin D, Black people get it from food absorption versus the sun. I promise you on that one. Please, everyone do their research on that.
Okay, so with regards to the sun, you think that because we're not getting enough, we should use blockers. Not getting enough of what?
No. I should have put a full stop there. Next paragraph. You're saying that we don't get enough, like since 1930s or whatever, the soils changed, etc., etc. Therefore, our diet and our natural protection from the sun will have natural UVB protection, melanated people, but we're not going to get that anymore because of the diet and evolution of things and times have changed. What is wrong then if someone says I'm going to buy the sun protection from the shop to protect me, since my skin no longer has the barriers that it needs to protect itself from the sun?
Again, I don't know if you were listening from the start, but I gave the analogy of me playing basketball, and when I went to the doctors, I had knee injuries, and they gave me a knee brace to protect my knee, so I could play basketball. And when I was wearing the knee brace, my knee felt super strong. I could play basketball with this knee brace on. Guess what happened when I took the knee brace off? Guess what happened to my knee? It was weaker because of wearing a knee brace. So guess what happens to Black people when they wear sunscreen? Guess what happens to their melanin? Obviously, it's going to be weaker. So I'm not saying to people, don't do it. I'm saying if you're going to do it, you're going to have to do it forever. Like me wearing my knee brace, I can't not wear my knee brace now to play basketball because now my knee's so weak, it relies on the knee brace. Same with your melanin. Your melanin's going to get so weak, it relies on these sunscreens or SPS, whatever you're using. You're going to have to use them for life. And again, according to my research, again, scientific references, most of the sunscreen products have cancer-causing chemicals in them. So not only are you putting it on to protect you from the sun, it could cause you harm in the future. That's like me wearing the knee brace and then the knee brace causes me cancer. That's crazy.
Can I just add there? Because obviously we're kind of going back and forth, and obviously everyone do their due diligence.
Thank you. Thank you, Leon.
Thank you, sis. Thank
you, Jackie. I asked ChatGPT, of course, question all that stuff, right? But I said, do Black people get vitamin D more from sun or food? In Africa and in the UK, because I wanted two thingies. And I said, use real scientific sources, right? Of course, do your due diligence. So it says what the science says, sun versus food generally. A review article states the vast majority of systemic vitamin D derives from the skin, with a minority coming from dietary supplementation, right? Melanin does reduce the efficiency of vitamin D production in the skin because melanin absorbs UVB. So less UVB reaches the 7-dehydrocholesterol in skin that converts to vitamin D. However, one study states the inhibitory effect of melanin is small compared to other factors like UVR dose. Those small still may matter significantly in low UV settings. So it's using different sources, right? So overall, ChatGPT has now said, again, sun exposure is the main source, but food and supplements are essential when sun exposure is low or skin pigment limits synthesis. Okay, so case one, Black people living in Africa, strong sun environment, cool. Long story short, basically said in African settings where UVB is abundant and skin is exposed, the sun is very much the main contributor for vitamin D synthesis amongst Black people. Food slash supplements likely play a smaller role because dietary intake of vitamin D is often very low in those settings, and yet many attain acceptable levels via sun exposure. So back home, where sun is not an issue, that is the main contributor for vitamin D synthesis. Not the food. It's not the food, right? Okay. Case 2, black people living in the UK, where it's a high latitude, etc., etc., etc. It says for black people in the UK, sun exposure alone is often inadequate. This is why they say we especially need the supplements and all that sort of stuff because we ain't getting no sun here, right? Cool. It basically says you need it to maintain optimal vitamin D status because of the 4 interacting issues: high latitude, melanin reducing UVB driven synthesis, less dietary vitamin D intake, etc., etc. So answering the question. So ChatGPT basically summarizing everything. So answering your question, do black people get more from sun or food? In Africa, strong UV, likely more skin exposure. Sun is clearly the primary source. Food has a minor role because dietary vitamin D intake tends to be low and synthesis from the sun is sufficient for many. That's it.
Thank you, Manuel. Thank you, chat. GPT.
Yes.
So we have a question for Maggie. Can you go back to prostate cancer topic? I know a number of older black men who are currently impacted by this. I'm just worried about saying not to getting tested without an alternative.
All right. So first of all, I didn't say not to get tested. I'm saying if someone's telling you that you're more likely to die from something without telling you why, you need to question that. I'm a scientist. What if I came out with a scientific study saying that white people are more likely to get licked down by a bus when they're crossing the road? What's the first question you're going to ask me?
Why?
Why? What if I turn around to you and said, I'm not sure, but come get tested? I'm not sure why, but come get tested and you might reduce your risk of getting licked down by a bus. Yeah? Just me saying that, that does not make any sense. If I can tell you that you're more likely to die from something, from my research and my scientific study, I should be able to tell you why. If I said that white people are more likely to get licked down by a bus when they're crossing the road, you're going to ask me why. And if I say I don't know, automatically you're going to think logically, because to me, science is logic backed up by evidence. You're going to think logically, either I'm lying and white people are not more likely to get licked down by a bus, or I'm driving. I'm the driver of the bus. Do you understand? So that's how I know that you're more likely to get licked down, because I'm licking you down. Yeah? So when it comes on to them telling us that black people are more likely to get prostate cancer, black women are more likely to die from childbirth and pregnancy, either they're lying or they're driving. If you can't tell me why, you're lying or you're driving. Now, if you're a liar, why would I go to you for my solution to my problem? And again, I'm not saying don't go. Go if you want to go. Go get tested. And again, she said, what's the alternative? I'm literally putting on a black men's health event to tell everyone the alternatives. To tell everyone the truth with regards to prostate cancer. I'm not like, don't go. I'm not a finger wanger. I'm going to tell you, here's how you get prostate cancer. Yeah. Here's how you avoid prostate cancer. Here's what causes prostate cancer. Here's what the treatment that they're going to offer you. Here's the side effects. Here's the side effects of the treatment. And again, here's all the information. Make your educated, logical decision.
Yeah.
Go on. Like, I don't mind what you do. You don't get treatment, you do get treatment. I don't mind, but here's the truth. Here's all the information that you need to know. And then you make a decision based on the right information. The thing is, they don't give us the right information. You cannot tell black people that they're more likely to die from something without telling them why.
All right, so good morning again, Godders. You have a quick question to ask before we move on?
Yes, indeed. Leon, big up. You're sharing some great knowledge, and I love it. And I will definitely be buying the book. So
And
I
attend
have
the
two
event.
questions for you. Oh, of course.
Come on.
My wife said we need to. My wife already done told me, yeah, we're going to
Come
that.
on.
Big
So
up.
I'm gonna book it after.
Yeah.
So my two questions is, one, in your book, do you discuss gut health and how to manage it properly? Because as you probably know in your research, having a healthy gut is one of the most pertinent and most quintessential part of having a good life and having a good health in general. Now, my second question is pertaining to autoimmune diseases. like I hear it a lot in the Black community about autoimmune diseases like mixed connective tissue disease, my meiosis, and myocardial disease, that kind of thing. Do you also go into autoimmune disease remedies in your book, or is it just more general?
Yeah, so good question. So my book is more to do about melanin than it is to do about health. But obviously, with regards to us as Black folks, we need to understand the importance of melanin in order to stay healthy. So with regards to the gut, I don't specifically talk about gut health, but I do. There's a chapter in my book called Foods for Melanin. I literally break down the foods that we should be consuming for our melanin. Yeah. And a lot of it is sun-fired foods, foods that are charged up by the sun. That's your fruits, high watery fruits, what my mentor would call electromagnetic foods. So my mentor, Dr. Aris Lafam, he says that the sun charges up the fruits and vegetables. The sun charges up the food, and that means the food is electromagnetic. The reason why is because your body's electromagnetic. Your body runs on the same frequencies, electricity, like your phone. So if we are electromagnetic, we need an electromagnetic diet or food, and we get that from sun-fired foods or foods charged up by the sun. The fruits, you got to think, when you're going to pick a fruit off the tree, you're reaching high. So when you're reaching high, that's more electric because it's higher up. So it's getting more charge from the sun. So when you're reaching high, it's more electric. That's the reason why Dr. Aris Lafam, he's big on us drinking coconut water, because you think how high the coconut goes, yeah? When you're getting coconuts from the tree. And Dr. Aris Lafam, who's 78 years old, he'll still climb coconut trees. That's how fit and healthy he is, yeah? Again, testament to what he's teaching with regards to sun-fired foods and that sort of stuff. So the higher up is electricity, the lower down is magnetic foods. Yeah, so ground foods, so yam and all the stuff that's coming from the ground, that's magnetic. In the middle is a combination of the two. So if you're reaching up, that's electric foods. If you're reaching down, that's magnetic foods. If you're reaching in the middle, it's kind of got a combination of the two. That's electromagnetic. We need electromagnetic. However, if you've got a health issue and you need to, again, like I talked about at the beginning, you've got some form of blockage, you need to remove that blockage. It's the electricity that's going to remove that blockage. So you got to avoid the grounded foods, so the yam and the tough fibrous foods. You got to avoid them and just stick to the electricity, stick to coconut water, stick to fruits, stick to watermelon, stick to all that sort of stuff and flush out that stuff. Then you can go with electromagnetic. Do you get what I'm saying? So with regards to the gut, if you're just consuming those types of foods, your gut will remain healthy. Onto your other question with regards to autoimmune conditions. Again, I do break this down in my book, and I broke this down on my Black Holistic Health course. We are different as human beings, and there's nothing wrong with being different. People like to think that our melanin is just skin deep. So underneath the skin, we're all the same. That is totally untrue. Yeah, our biochemistry is totally different. So our skin literally represents what's going on inside our body. So if our skin's different, our internal chemistry is different. With that being said, then, when it comes on to autoimmune conditions, we need to understand the role that white blood cells play. White blood cells are like your defense system against disease, yeah? If you've got any type of pathogen or virus or bacteria, something causing the body harm, it's the white blood cells that are supposed to go out there and defend the body. And the way they defend the body is they shoot out these chemicals called histamine. And we were talking about hay fever earlier. Hay fever is due to histamine, the release of histamine. That's the reason why when you go to the doctors, they give you antihistamines. Yeah, that's from white blood cells shooting out histamines.
Overproducing it, right?
They're overproducing it because something's going on inside. Remember, your white blood cells are your army. So if the white blood cells are shooting out histamines, there's some war going on inside of you. There's too much histamine. There's an attack. Yeah. But what happens, is, what we're not told is that naturally, again, if you go back to where we originate from, whether you believe you originate from Africa or the Caribbean, wherever, we didn't have things attacking us. So naturally, Black people don't have a higher amount of white blood cells as do white people. White people have more white blood cells than we do because they come from a climate of things attacking them, like cold climate. Do you get what I'm saying? Like viruses, They had the Black Plague. They had things that nearly wiped them out. Do you get what I'm saying? So they naturally need a higher white blood cell count to protect themselves from things. You got to think, if you believe that you come from Africa, back in the day, there weren't no viruses or things that were attacking us. We were eating fruits and vegetables. We were picking fruits and all that sort of stuff. So we didn't have to have a high, and I'm talking way back in the day, obviously. We didn't have to have a high white blood cell count. So we didn't have the histamine issues that we do now. Now we live in this environment where the food's attacking us, the air's attacking us, the water's attacking us, we're getting attacked by vaccines, we're getting attacked by people, we're getting attacked. So now we need a lot more white blood cells to defend us from all of these things that are trying to attack us internally. Yeah? And so the white blood cells are going crazy. Histamine, blah, 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 blah. And this can lead to the white blood cells damaging or eating, because that's what they do as well. They eat pathogens and eat things in the body. The white blood cells could then eat something that they shouldn't be eating. So when you've got autoimmune disease, the white blood cells are attacking something that they shouldn't attack. Type 1 diabetes is when the white blood cells attack your pancreas. Hashimoto disease is when when the white blood cells attack your thyroid. Yeah. So it's an overactivity of white blood cells. That's what autoimmune conditions are. Now, what is the origin of that? Now, that's when we can get a little bit deep, because the origin, what I've found through my research, is the origin of these things is when, for whatever reason, we're not expressing ourselves fully. And again, in this environment, sometimes we as black people, we can't or we don't want to express ourselves fully. Do you get what I'm saying? We don't want to be labeled as angry black man or whatever. So we don't express. So we repress a lot. And that repression is like it's eating you up inside. It's like you've got something to say, but you don't want to say it. So it eats you up inside. That's what your white blood cells are doing. They're literally eating you up inside. So that could cause an autoimmune condition. I've done research to find that a lot of women who suffer from autoimmune conditions is due to some form of relationship they were in. Something they were in some form of abusive relationship. They couldn't express themselves properly. So now they repress themselves, and that repression leads to them eating them. They've literally got something that they want to say, and it's eating them up inside, and that's what's causing the autoimmune condition.
Sorry, what's the correlation there? What's
what?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there, but just can you break that down a little bit more?
There's a book called The Metaphysics of Anatomy, and what that book breaks down is that every disease has an emotional and mental root cause. So every disease. So when you get this book, you guys can find it on Amazon. It's called The Metaphysics of Anatomy. You go to that book. It's a massive book, and it's got all the diseases. It's from A to Z, all of the disease. So whatever you're suffering from, let me go hay fever. Let me go to H. Go to H. It will break down why you're suffering from hay fever from a mental and emotional state.
It gives the root causes.
Root cause. And I guarantee you, when you'll read it, you'll be like, oh my gosh. Everyone I've shown that book to, they're like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what was happening.
I found out about that book the hard way, because back in the day, in workplaces, I was constantly under stress and my blood pressure went up. I started putting on weight, blah, blah, blah. But I was eating healthy as far as I'm concerned. And that's when I discovered there was other things going on, like in the physical world or metaphysical world, where like relationships at work was the cause of my stress, not my health, not nothing that so I hear what you're saying, bro. It's real talk.
And that's such a good point, because going back to the other callers talk about it's the diet. The brother here said he was eating healthily and got a health issue, because there's always some form of mental and emotional root cause to what we're going through. This is the reason why when we talk about health, we can't just talk about nutrition. Can't just talk about alkaline food, and it has to be a holistic thing. We have to look at health as mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, psychological, social even. You got to look at all aspects, because if you're just looking at the food, you're going to miss the whole point.
Shout out Jackie.
And one last point I wanted to add. So you talked about, coconuts being higher up, and that therefore we would have a lot of more vitamin inside, or there'll be a lot more vitamin D inside it, kind of thing. Now, would you argue that it's better to take high vitamin D fruits and vegetables opposed to supplements?
Yeah, so remember when I was talking with the caller Jackie, I was saying we get vitamin D from the sun. She was saying we get it from the food. We get minimal from the food, and that was just proven with ChatGPT. ChatGPT says you get more from the sun, less from the food. So When it comes onto vitamin D
Yeah,
supplements,
and my question in relation that is obviously there's supplements available, vitamin D, B12, all the others, and my question is it beneficial to get it more from supplements or from fruits and vegetables that contain those vitamins?
so the supplements, I don't know what's in them because the people that make them, they're the usual suspects and they never have our best interests at heart. So
Say no more.
until
Say
there's
no
a
more. That's it.
until there's a black-owned supplement company, and there is, by the way,
Say no more.
my brother Charles, big up my brother Charles. He runs a supplement company called Ankara. Yeah, you guys check them out. Ankara Limited. They have supplements. I always take my brother's supplements because I trust him. I know it's coming from a great source. He gets his moringa from Grenada and Africa and all these sort of things. So anytime I get something from my brother Charles from Ankara, I know it's a powerful supplement. So until my brother Charles Ankara comes out with a vitamin D supplement, I am not taking no vitamin D supplements. And that's just me
Say no
personally.
more. No more.
Big up, bro. Big up.
There's also Olayinka vitamins as well. Like he's a Yoruba Nigerian brother. I believe he's based in America.
Okay.
Pro-black. Went the proper university route, like proper biochemist and everything. And he's like, I'm only making products for black people. He doesn't. He basically ships it to people in bulk, and then obviously they can sell it and do their thing in it. People ask him. People who Europeans ask him. He's like, nope, I'm not sending it to you. He only sells it to black people, and like he gives a proper high potency when it comes to the vitamin D. I believe he does like 5,000 IUs. He does other multivitamins as well, man. So big up him as well, Olayinka vitamins.
And some people may say, no, that's wrong, man. Why is he just making products for just black people? Well, according to them, we are different because I keep on saying we're different. But doesn't the NHS tell us every year that we're different? Doesn't the government every year tell us that we're different? Every year the NHS beg black people for blood. If we were all the same, why are you only begging us for blood? If all of our blood is the same, go beg someone else's blood. What are you begging black people for our blood for? Obviously, our blood is different to other people's. Yeah? So they tell us we're different. So if we're different, shouldn't we have a different educational system when it comes onto our health? And when it comes onto melanin? Even when it comes onto medicine, shouldn't there be some form of difference? Because remember, you guys are telling us that we're different, and we're not even saying it because I'm the only one running around saying we're different. You talk to any black person, they'll be like, no, we're all the same. Under the skin, we're all the same, which is scientifically incorrect. But they tell us we're different. Black women, you're more likely to die. That's you saying black women, you're different. Black men, you're more likely to get prostate cancer. That's them telling us we're different. So if we're different, surely we need a different diet and we need a different education. So if you're still rocking with the same education or the same medicine, you're taking the same medicine that everyone else, obviously it's not going to have the same effect on you. We need a different diet. We need a different medicine, different supplements, because they tell us we're different. You don't even need to say, right, Leo Marshall said we're different. They say that we're different. Every year they tell us we're different.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you very much, Goddess.
Wrap up, guys, man. Is somebody else in chat?
Big up,
I
big
said
up.
thank you, Goddess. Just
Okay, cool.
no, bye. So I'm seeing questions coming in, but no. In fact, 10 seconds on each question, please, Leon. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The first one, Davina says, has the guest come into contact with anyone that has fibromyalgia? I think I said that right.
Yeah. Again, I've got a team of people who deal with that. So even the brother who I just mentioned, Charles from Ankara, he has a herbal tech clinic where he does bioscans. So you can go to him and he'll do a bioscan of your whole body. The bioscan will be much more thorough than you go into the hospital and doing a scan from the hospital. He'll tell you, it scans every single one of your organs. He'll tell you what's going on internally. He'll tell you what's going on with regards to your fibromyalgia. And then he has solutions. He's got his supplements. He'll give you a regime and that sort of stuff. When it comes onto my health, I'm not going to put my trust or my health in people who historically have shown that they couldn't care less about me being alive or dead. I just wouldn't do that. And that's just me personally. Yeah. So when it comes on to people saying, who should I go to them? I got prostate cancer. Who should I go to? Go to whoever you want. I know I'm not going to people who historically, one, don't even tell me the truth. Tell me the truth about melanin. They can't even tell me the truth about melanin. Melanin is the elephant in the room. Or tell me the truth. Why are black men more likely to get prostate cancer? They can't tell me, but yet you've got the solution for me. That doesn't make logical sense. And that's me personally. Everyone can do what they want to do, but that's me personally. And again, at my event, I'm going to reveal the truth. I'm going to reveal the truth about prostate cancer. I'm going to reveal the truth about treatments and what they are offering black men. I'm going to reveal the truth about how they make black men tap dancers. They don't want to come out and say, yeah, black men, come get tested. So they make us come out and make us be their mascots. Yeah, black men, come get tested, come get tested. I'm going to reveal the truth of all that. Once you know the truth, you can make a decision. I'm not going to say, don't do this or don't do that. Like my grandmother told me, go on. Once you got the right information, go on and make your decision. But I'm definitely going to reveal the truth at my event, like I've been doing for the last 10 or so years on all my courses and all my events.
Thank you. And I think that kind of answers your second question. Is the best way to tackle it to start with a detox study? Think the effects can be reversed or reduced? I think you said check out the person that you had spoke about just now before then.
But I kind of answered that question earlier when I say any issue you've got, instead of thinking what shall I take, stop everything. The first thing to do with anything is to fast. Any issue you've got is to fast. Stop consuming anything and then just fast. Either, again, water fast is going to be very difficult. So maybe a juice fast or just fruits. Just eat fruits. Fruits are the cleansers. Fruits are going to cleanse your system because they are acids. Again, like I said at the beginning, your body needs acids and alkaline, but you should be getting your acids from fruits. So the acids in the fruits are going to cleanse the body. They're going to strip the body of what shouldn't be there. So when it comes onto whatever I don't care what your issue is, fibromyalgia, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, whatever it is, the best thing to first do is detox fast. Stop everything. Stop the problem, and then you can start incorporating, what people would consider superfoods or super supplements and that sort of stuff. But first things first, fast.
Thank you. And Maggie was basically saying she wasn't discrediting you. She was generally asking a question, as she said she knew people personally who were currently impacted with prostate cancer. All right. And then the last question was from Black Rob. Can you ask him about his thoughts on how the medical field was not so adverse to holistic remedies until the Rockefeller Foundation got involved?
Yeah, so the Rockefeller kind of changed everything. You got what people need to understand, again, if you know your history, natural remedies was the norm. All over the world, natural remedies was the norm. The only places where it weren't the norm is the Europeans. Again, their history is corpse medicine. You guys get the book, Mummies, Cannibals and Vampires. It will blow you away. Their history is corpse medicine. So the way they survived was from eating us. They used to eat the mummies. They used to eat the slaves. They used to eat our melanin. They used to, as you guys know, they used to hang us and then chop off our genitals and have them as souvenirs. Even to this day, I don't know if you guys saw in the UK, they came out with a story saying some universities still have the skulls of Caribbean slaves. Did you guys see that story?
Yeah.
Some universities still have the skulls of Caribbean slaves, which they use for wine drinking.
Wow.
This is their history. This is their medicine. So our medicine is fruits and vegetables and mangoes, and their medicine is crushing skulls, making them into powders and using them for headaches. Do you understand? We are different. Nothing wrong with being different.
That's it.
All right, thank you.
Powerful show, man. I don't want to be. I wouldn't be myself if I didn't add this last bit, because obviously Jackie was still saying.
She contacted you. She was setting up screen grabs, saying that she used the same ChatGPT you used, and she got a different result, one that backed her up. You get me?
It did not at all.
And she said you're ignoring her WhatsApps because she's showing you evidence, and you just.
This is the thing. Can I just say, with regards to science, again, my definition is. Science is logic backed up by evidence, So your logic should be your common sense, and we're all born with logic. So we don't have to train to have logic. We're all born with logic, common sense, and then you back up your common sense with proof. So if I said to you, what's 2 + 2? Your logic, your common sense would say it's 4. If I said prove it, the easiest way to prove it is to put 2 fingers on one hand, 2 fingers on the other hand, and then count them out loud. So that way you're not arguing with someone. If someone turns around and says 2 + 2 is 6, you're not saying, no, it isn't. You're saying, prove it. Show me. Put 2 fingers on one hand, 2 fingers on the other, and show me. Yeah. So with regards to ChatGPT now, you type it in and it proved you right. She types it in and it proves her right. But now that's the reason why you need to use logic. You need to use common sense as well, and then back up your common sense with proof. Now, what makes more sense? That your melanin absorbs sunlight and converts that into vitamin D. That's the reason why black people all over the world have enjoyed the sun and have high bone density. Or your melanin blocks sunlight, therefore you have low vitamin D and need to get your vitamin D from food. Just logic, just common sense. Which one makes more sense?
This is it. And I think also Jackie was comparing darker skin with lighter skin and stuff. And I said, but that's not the argument. We know what the situation is.
You can have your conversation
You know what I'm
after the show.
saying? Yeah. And Andrew says, stop treating ChatGPT like an authority. 100%. It has no accountability for the answers it gives. It's a fact. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, I wanted to give some, because I know a lot of people, rely on ChatGPT. You know what I'm saying? So I thought, let me do that.
Yeah, use the same hidden tools to basically.
There you go. But I asked for sources. Jackie didn't ask for no sources. I also said, I lied to ChatGPT. I said, listen, someone's telling me, a scientist is saying we get vitamin D from food far more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We being black people. And it said that claim that black people get vitamin D more from food than from the sun is, in bold letters, scientifically inaccurate. And it misrepresents how vitamin D metabolism actually works in humans. Let's break it down. We ain't going to get into the breakdown.
You've trained your ChatGPT to be Nat Turner acolyte. To be honest.
Imagine.
You get me?
I talk to ChatGPT the same way I talk to white people. White people unfortunately, they don't tell us the truth with regards to our health, with regards to our history. So when white people say things, you have to delve a little bit deeper. You can't just go with what they say on the surface. So when ChatGPT give me an answer, I have to delve a bit deeper because I know that they may not tell me the truth. So for example, that same story that came out about the skulls, I knew they'd lie about it. The skulls in the UK university. I knew ChatGPT would lie about it. So I was like, have you heard about this new study that came out that said that these UK universities still, to this day, hold these skulls from Caribbean slaves and use them as wine? Yeah, that's unsubstantiated. This is not true and blah, blah, blah. Then I quoted the white dude who said it, who referenced it in his book. And then they were like, yeah, it's actually correct.
It happens.
You know what I'm saying?
It happens. It's been a powerful show, man. I'm gonna obviously give the last word to Brother Leon. Can you tell the people, of course, get the book. Everyone get the book, please. You know what I'm saying? Melanin, the hidden science of melanin, and also, if you can, guys, there's gonna be a powerful event, November 22nd from 12 to 6 p.m. It's going to be in Northampton Square in London. The secret location for now, but do your Googles.
Yeah, no, we'll let you know this week. For the people that are booking, we'll let you know this week. Yeah.
Sick. And again, it's going to be powerful, man. They are answering the following questions, right? Why are black people 4 times more likely to die from prostate cancer? Why are black people more likely to suffer from hypertension and diabetes? Why are black men 17 times more likely to be diagnosed with mental health conditions? Again, that's just 3 of the 6 I'm seeing here. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different things that this brother and another brother's going to be speaking on as well, man. It's going to be a powerful event. Big up Goddess. He's going to be there. The Hidden Science of Black Men's Health. Saturday, November 22nd. From 12 to 6 p.m. Location will be made known this week. Just do your Googles and the link will be also in the chat. And yeah, man, appreciate you coming down and blessing us with the wisdom. You know,
appreciate the visit, the invite, man. Really appreciate it because, like you said at the start, no one really knows this side. No one knows. And again, when it comes into science, we look at them as an authority. And if you know your history, we were the scientists.
Yeah,
we taught them about maths and science and that sort of stuff. Very long time ago. So now we look at them as the scientists. So now we can change that narrative.
That's it.
Especially if they're not going to tell us the truth about how our bodies work from a black perspective. I don't understand why you'd believe these people. They've never told us the truth. 2 things they will always lie to us about is science and history. And the reason why they lie to us about science and history is because the more you delve into history, the blacker everything gets.
Wow.
The blacker everyone gets. The more you delve into science, the blacker everything gets. The blacker everyone gets.
ChatGPT said melanin is not just a color, it's biological intelligence. I'm going to leave it right there. You know what I'm saying?
Love that.
We'll be back tomorrow. Another amazing guest. Again, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you,
It's been a pleasure, man.
Thank you.
People, like the video. 8 a.m. tomorrow. Peace.
Oops.